We have blinking recording light.
Okay,
Make sure to turn your mics on before you speak.
all mics on, please. Okay. Jennifer, you want to throw yours on? No problem. Good afternoon, everyone.
For the record, we
Yes.
have Nick Babonte, Angela Jameson's computer, which is here, Steve Case, and Tucker on currently.
Okay, thanks, everyone. And welcome, everyone, to this afternoon's meeting, a special meeting of the Town of New Canaan Charter Revision Commission. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, and we're starting at 4 p.m. I'm going to turn to Commissioner Jameson to give us a roll call.
Thank you. Mr. Case,
Present.
Ms. Corbett, Ms. Hall, here, Ms. Jameson, present, Mr. Kimes,
Present.
Mr. Lampert, not yet, Mr. Labrise,
Not online yet.
Ms. Neville, here, Mr. Pallo,
Here.
Mr. Perrette, not yet, Ms. Willett, here.
And
I'm
Todd
right here.
Lampert just arrived.
And Mr. Lampert has just arrived.
Okay. Okay, welcome, everyone. We don't have, let's see. We don't have minutes from last night, which is fine. We'll get those. This is our, hi, Bill. This perhaps will be our last in-person meeting at this stage before sending off the draft report. We do already have scheduled meetings. We have in fact scheduled meetings right through to November. So we're going to go back to the twice a month, and we might have to cancel them because if they're necessary, if they're in the calendar. So kindly, I can review the calendar with everybody again. So we'll take a look at that.
That'd be a good idea.
I beg your pardon?
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Calendar.
So right now, our next meeting would be 2 weeks from Tuesday or 1 week from Tuesday.
So right now on the calendar, it's May 12th at 5 p.m. We're going back to our regular schedule, followed by May 26th at 5 p.m. So that's all on our website under the scheduled meetings. So we're going to go back to regular scheduled
At
meetings.
5 p.m. you said,
I beg your pardon?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. was our regular time. We moved it early just to take advantage of
Okay.
an extra hour, but,
When do we
okay.
when do we
So,
actually vote on, do we have to vote on passing this on to the to the town council?
sure.
No, I just wondering.
I'd like to get everybody's consensus that we go forward. Yeah.
Is that,
okay.
when do we do that, Friday or Monday?
No. I'd like to, we'll do it today.
That's
if we can.
tonight, because
Let's do
nobody
it
else is
today.
available after.
We
Okay.
may have to.
Yeah, let's
meet
do it today. We have everyone, but, and we're hoping that Chris actually dials in. But this will be the last day that we have everybody together. So let's make the best of it.
Do we have a scheduled date to meet with the town council?
We have not gotten a scheduled date to meet with the town council yet.
Okay.
Okay, but I do know that their next regular meeting, if I have this right, somebody double check me on this, is I think May the
May
14th.
May 20th.
Thank you, Tucker. May 20th is when their next scheduled meeting is. Okay? So I suspect that they might have a special meeting beforehand.
Yeah.
Everybody read the memo?
Yeah.
And time is tight, so hopefully it'll pick up from there. You know what, if with your permission, I have a budget review set as agenda number 6. I also had it for yesterday. It's a 2-minute discussion. I'd like to put that forward because we seem to run out of time, and I just want to give you an update as to where we are. So I passed out yesterday, I don't know if you still have it, but the budget that we had approved back in December. Remember, there's 2 phases of the budget. One was for the fiscal year of 2026, which ends in June 30th. Of 26, and that set aside was for $50,300. And that included legal counsel at 20, printing at 5, newspaper notices, 6,000, secretarial services. And again, my apologies to Karen. I got to get on that, Karen. You'll have it shortly. And mailers, miscellaneous, and then the townwide survey. So the numbers are coming in different forms, but hopefully we'll be able to, I don't know, we might exceed the 50,000. Where we are today, legal as of end of March, 23,171. The postcard was 5,865. Secretarial bill thus far is 2191. So for a total of 31,200, God bless you, $31,227 out of the 50 we currently have in the budget. We are likely to, hit some higher numbers on our legal because it doesn't include April, doesn't include May. So just keep that in mind. And Nick, just as a budget question for you, when we send our report to the town council and they begin their review process as well, are you available to them to discuss this, or is that a separate thing? And your time, is that part of our overall CRC budget, or is that a separate charge? And maybe Tucker would know this better, but.
Sorry, Kathleen,
Okay.
I'm just trying to
That's
find
okay.
the mute button. I mean, the estimated budget number, so to speak, and it was very much an estimate, was based on our firm's, the entirety of our representation related to the prior charter revision. So,
Right.
so, I mean, I know we're getting, I mean, we are still available, and we, contemplated remaining available, to the
Okay.
town council as needed.
Okay, so that would be inclusive of the CRC budget.
I believe it would, yes.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fine, that's good. So anyway, I'm keeping an eye on this. We did not capture, if nobody has any bills yet for newspaper notices of our public hearings, so still waiting for those. I don't know when we are at the time ready to, just as recall, this document, under state statutes, we have to publish what our report says, the final report, in a newspaper. So what we did 10 years ago is we printed it on newsprint, and it was stuck in this case, the advertisers' newspaper for delivery. And so I've inquired with the Sentinel about doing something similar, and whatever that they're.
Nancy Bemis, if you would please mute, that would be appreciated.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I think she's in Mexico. Hi, Nancy.
Yeah, she was.
Ah,
Yeah, she
okay.
was this weekend.
So anyway, this is the paper, the quality of the paper. It's a newsprint. Be in the actual newspaper itself. Circulation is about 3,000, I believe. And yeah, so that's good.
That's good enough.
Yeah. And then there's also drop offs at the mobile station, the library, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah.
we'll have
3,000 's
about the
fair.
same.
Yeah,
I think we'll get
fair.
up to 4,000 in terms of distribution. So just want to let you know, that's not been factored. That's not been billed to us. I don't even have a quote yet. So just want to let you know. Any questions on the budget or expenses thus far? Hearing none, I'm not asking for any approvals. We're just going to move on now. Okay. Let's turn to the budget, the draft. I'm sorry if I sound a little exhausted, but the draft itself, everybody's on version 14. I've actually already started version 15, but we're going to go to 14. And I'm going to flip pages, and I'm going to point to areas where we had made amendments yesterday and where they got amended. So on page 12, we have the vote from yesterday, which was the applicability of administrative policies. That's added to page 12, just one vote yesterday. We saved all the best for you, Judy. As we go.
I'm sure you did. I heard.
13, page 13, I've added to the list, it's a growing list, to the potential ballot items. And this one, the one I added was the, did I add two of them, I guess? So one was on the Conservation Commission, and then to discuss inland wetlands and zoning boards of appeal today. And that's increasing from 2 to 3 year terms. And Nick, while I have you online, I'm making an assumption here that particular one, when we increase members' terms from 2 to 3 years, and that this would be, if everyone approves, it would be 3 commissions. Is that a ballot item, or is that just does that fall into the category of to reflect technical and conforming changes, which clarify definitions, delete outdated references, and update provisions to current practice. This kind of falls into the current practice category, and that we're taking everybody up to 3 years. Everyone that's at 2 years now, going up to 3 years. Would that necessitate a separate ballot item, or do you think it would fall into the kitchen sink
Yeah,
one,
I do.
number 4?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Kitchen sink.
Was that Judy saying kitchen sink? I
Yeah.
think that's,
To me, it's kitchen sink.
I mean, I think that's where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
I'm cool
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
You're fine?
that seems
Yeah, we're good.
appropriate to me.
Yeah.
under
Okay,
the
all right.
circumstances.
People don't understand that anywhere. They
Okay,
care. Yeah.
okay, well, that's great. I'm glad we asked questions. The other one I added now this doesn't exist now. There are 5 regular members on the ethics board. Did we go through this yesterday? But we did, sorry. So this would be 3 alternates that we're recommending. That's right. We had the discussion, and Steve, you're on. I got a note from you. You thought alternates, the number of alternates were too many. But in fact, commissions where we have 5 members, we do have 3 alternates. So it's being consistent again. And so we didn't have any alternates on the ethics board. We're proposing to add 3. And again, is this kitchen sink or is this a ballot item, separate ballot item?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you. Yeah. And
Mr.
you,
I'm
Beaumont?
gonna go kitchen sink.
you go kitchen
Yeah.
sink. This is a technical term, obviously.
Who
but-
recommended 3?
No. Oh, who recommended the 3
As
alternates?
opposed to 2 or 1?
Well, it's to be consistent with
Oh, all right.
the others
Okay,
that have
all right.
5.
Just
Yeah,
curious.
no.
So
But it-
The
just
question
clarify,
is-
how broadly applicable is this alternate change?
Just to one board.
So it's just a 1 board because others already have alternates. So this is, the ones that have alternates right now are ZBA,
P and Z,
Mhm.
P and Z, obviously Board of Finance. Those also
Conservation
have.
Commission.
Does conservation have
I believe
alternates?
it does.
They don't
yeah.
have
Inland
3. None of
wetlands
them
has
have 3.
three.
Inland wetlands,
Oh,
yeah.
only-
Yeah, inland wetlands
only
has 3.
ZBA. You have 3?
Yeah,
Okay, so we
yeah.
have 2.
Yeah.
All right.
So
No,
this
there's
this
2.
is creating
There's 2 more
Oh,
that
yeah.
have 3.
so this is creating alternates for a particular commission that doesn't currently have alternates.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
I'm not sure that's kitchen sink.
Okay, that's fine. It's a
valuable.
separate listing right now, and we'll keep it as such. What you can, if you want to double check that for me or whatever, but right now we'll keep it separate.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Let's move on page 14. I've added, whose recommendation was this, Jennifer? Reconciliation of charter amendments to town ordinances. The next change is now we're moving to the town council, welcoming 2 members of the town council in our audience. And we're looking at page 16. This is Article 4. And actually, this is actually the summation. So we can go into the detail because it says the exact same thing, but I highlighted it there. We haven't approved it yet, but if it does, it's just an easy, yeah.
I had a question on 14.
Yep.
Oh, what was the town treasurer ordinance? I thought we were putting it into the charter.
So if there were any items that were not put into the charter, we would recommend putting a town ordinance together if that was appropriate.
Okay. I
That's
don't
all.
think we deleted anything or moved anything, did we?
We had some other, I think it doesn't need necessarily, my personal thing is you don't need one, but if there was anything that
Okay.
felt was necessary, we popped it in
So
there.
coming back to Article 4, Section 4-12.
Yeah.
Added requirement that town council shall approve any zoning change. The legislative authority, according to the Connecticut statutes, rests with P and Z, not town council. So, I mean, is this ultra vires, Attorney Bermonti, to give the town council the authority to approve zoning changes?
Yeah, that's the terminology. I don't think that was the intention, but this terminology does not work. A zoning change is a change I mean, when you hear it commonly stated, I mean, the Planning and Zoning Commission has the independent and sole authority to set the zoning districts in town. So when you hear in just common parlance zone change, like is currently represented in the draft, um, that very much falls under the umbrella of what planning and zoning does, and they are the sole um, entity that can do that. When I was present for the discussion yesterday, it sounded like the intention was more of to trigger this additional layer of approval where there's a contemplated change in use of the
Use.
Yeah, that's what
property
it should be.
rising to the level of maybe how zoning looks at change of use. So a zoning change or change of a zone is very much different than saying uh, a change of use as use is defined by the zoning regulations or something along those lines. I mean, that's really if I'm understanding what the intention is here, there's some wordsmithing I think that
Yeah.
should be done to reflect
I
that.
agree with
That's
you.
fine. Jennifer, you had actually, we toyed with what that appropriate word is. I might have gotten it wrong. What
No,
would,
we had originally put in there change of use.
change of
Yeah,
use,
that's
and
what
then
it
we
should
said,
be.
how
Sort
do you
of-
define it more tightly,
Well,
right?
of use that requires a zone change.
That's it.
Yeah,
Potentially that requires a
But
zone.
that doesn't track with reality. Like uses
Right.
change all the time that don't create a zone change.
Oh, I know,
Right.
but we don't want to have to do this. This wouldn't go into effect for those things. It would only be the change of use that would require a zone change.
I had recommended,
Would fall into this extra approval.
Okay, I follow that. Okay.
Yeah.
I had recommended the
word?
thought
Yeah.
of using a change of use or occupancy classification by building code or by fire code, one of the two, because those are boxes that are specific to type of use that's not as broad as zoning a large block of land that's, assembly or industrial or residential or that's educational. Those are the kind of buckets that those codes use as an option.
but doesn't that preclude
Open
where you have open
space.
space and you don't have that building?
Technically, yes, you're right, because then it's specific to, there are classifications for outdoor, but if you switch something from a park to a golf course, it doesn't catch it.
Right. So what's the appropriate language? I think everybody's supportive of
Yeah,
it.
it
It just,
should
we
be.
want to
What
make
does
sure
Nick,
it's.
what do you suggest?
That's a good one.
I mean, it's something, frankly, I haven't encountered this higher level where there's a contemplated change. I mean, it's such a. I mean, I don't know that I can just. I know we're trying to do this. Maybe we can move on, and I could think about
We
it
can move on. We
because
can move on, but yeah, think about it, Nick, Joe.
Karen had a good suggestion. I was thinking along the lines, it's a transaction that requires a change in zoning. So you have, the transaction is asking that in order to do the transaction, you have to change the zoning. So we're not asking that we're going to approve the zoning, we're saying that you have to go and ask for a change in zoning.
But it's not
That's
always a
okay.
transaction.
No, it's not.
Whatever, the
But
use,
why,
a use.
but why do we need the zoning in this at all?
we don't, Judy. Yeah,
Judy,
I,
that's- That we were toying with change of use yesterday.
Yeah.
People thought it was too broad,
No,
We'd
change
originally
of
put-
use is the right.
put it in, then we
Yeah.
said, well, what would really happen? We gave some use case scenarios, et cetera. We then
So
said.
change
this
of
is about
change of use.
zoning.
Just saying change of use. I mean, I think Todd said it, and maybe a couple others yesterday. I mean, there needs to be some more definity to that. Like what, and so that's the discussion went to, well, a change of use happens in zoning, or zoning at least looks at use as a measurable criteria of how each property is being utilized, and then that determines what permitting is needed through zoning in order to legally um, operate with that use. So yeah, in the zoning world, there's these different buckets of uses, and the zoning regulations define and contemplate different uses of property. But I mean, so if we want to somehow use that as the metric for what a change in use is, then I need to think about how to wordsmith that without calling it a zone change or something else that's just going to confuse things. Or we say change of use and somehow define that we're not talking about a change from, a deli to a sit-down restaurant. We're talking about a change from a park to housing or something like that. And I don't know how to do that. I mean, maybe the reference.
Use of park, but that's also included. It's the sale is in the park and rec. That's
Okay,
not what-
I'm sorry, that was a bad example. I'm just trying to get to this use.
Why don't we move on and come
Okay,
back?
yeah, hold on a second, but Russ and then Bill.
I was gonna say, I mean, let's try not to overcomplicate the charter in particular, because you only it's every 10 years. We have added substantive guardrails that did not exist with the sale, capital lease, or transfer, accomplishing, I think, a lot of the goals that we want. And I would not want us to overcomplicate the document or create potential problems trying in the last minute on the last day to solve what the wording is. I think we accomplish a lot just with what that part and removing the change of use or zoning for now. And they can always approach it as an ordinance once they get some more time to stew on it.
It's true.
I just was, my other point was,
Yeah.
I think Judy made a motion. I think we were all generally in favor of that yesterday. I'm happy for Nick to draft something, you, Kathleen, Judy, and maybe Jen to take a look at it, come up with the wording. Can't stay there, sit there for half an hour and come up with the wording. I mean, obviously, running out of time, that's all I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we are running out of time, Bill, but I think everybody should take a look at that wording. I don't think we had a formal vote on this.
We did not.
My concern is that we're going to tie ourselves up in knots for situations that we haven't even thought about.
Oh, I think.
I can see a risk that we become like California. You're bound by all these restrictions that have been added with the best will in the world to cover specific situations, and now they're very broadly applied.
Why don't we move on and figure out some wording and come back to this?
Okay.
I think we all know what the intent is.
You want to take a question from Christina?
Yeah, Christina Ross, sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't say this yesterday, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it today. Christine, this has nothing to do with you, but I was offended yesterday that we had an open meeting with a employee of the town who was neither a taxpayer nor a resident of the town. And
The
I think-
CFO,
What?
the CFO. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
The
She's
CFO,
not.
the CFO.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, I thought public comment was closed. We gotta get done.
We're working through, we're working through making sure, every time when someone says, what about this? And I say, well, I've got to ask and check with it. Having people in the room, I don't
Oh, I
like
mean, I
that.
didn't realize we were gonna do that.
I
don't-
didn't
and don't
realize
say-
it either,
and I
but we
don't-
took advantage of it because they were there and it saved me.
And I don't want to,
staying
I don't
up
want to be
till
in
4
a
in the morning,
situation
so.
that's 6:30 at the end of the meeting. We
Yeah.
have a 7 o'clock call with
Yeah.
100 people on it,
Yeah,
where we've got items on the agenda we haven't gotten to.
yeah.
But Christine.
got through everything but the
chairman gave
budget.
you the floor.
We got everything but the budget. Is there something quick that you want to share with us, Christina?
I just want to make sure.
Can you go to the mic, please?
Thank you. I just want to make sure that you consider that, and I don't remember if it's in the statutes or in the charter, that the town councils, it's in an ordinance, the town council sets the rules by which any property is sold. I think that by putting that limit of 500,000, you're really creating a situation just like it was just mentioned that we have not considered. But any property can be subdivided, a sliver of it can be sold for under 500, which would undermine the whole process of having input from the town council and or the public.
Okay, thank you.
That's all.
I don't
Appreciate
think
that.
we need the 500. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know
I'm
whose
going
idea
to-
that was, but.
I'm going to take the advice of all of you because we seem to struggling on this one and we're going to, thank you. Appreciate that. I want to move on to, because is Nancy Bemis still on the line?
She is.
Okay, and I am taking
Yes.
advantage of anybody who's willing to give
That's
us a
fine.
comment,
As long as
okay?
we understand we're not gonna be finished. It's we hard to vote on a document that will finish.
Well, we're moving as quickly as we can, Bill, without rushing. Okay, so parking commission, which is on page 30. Thank you.
Can you just tell me how we left that last section?
We left it.
Coming back to it.
Coming back.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we made no decisions.
Okay.
Okay, we will take it to a vote. We're going to clean it up, take it to a vote. We're going to finish it tonight, okay? Parking Commission, Nancy, I received some of your comments. And let me just say that did not have time to get to the full commission here. I then received a second set of comments, which I haven't even taken a look at, other than just seeing that you had sent something. We're beyond, I think, the point of making 2 levels of comments. Question?
I was just wondering.
Nancy Bemis is the chair of the Parking Commission.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's okay, not a problem. So Nancy has shared comments through Steve Case, through Checker Murphy, and I have also received a copy of them. And I think you might have received some too, right, Judy? And so they are comments that really don't change the substance of what is already on page 30 and 31. And again, not having the full commission having the benefit of seeing those changes. I can tell you what I'm saying to the full commission, Nancy, is that the first round of comments that were sent to Steve, I have incorporated. They're minimal. They're not changing the substance at all. I'm going to share that with the commission this evening. And then they can come back to me and say that whether or not this feeds. It's nothing substantive. It's more grammatical.
It's really meant to tighten. I mean, the comments, you're saying that the comments that I sent to you this morning, Kathleen, you sent to Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. There was nothing materially different.
No.
It was just the wrong version. So there weren't 2 sets of comments per se. It was the wrong attachment. So apologies.
I just got
on
something.
that.
I got something at 2:30 this afternoon, which I have not had a chance to dive deep in.
It's virtually the same language.
Okay,
It was
very
just
good.
slightly different. I mean, but nothing material.
Okay, so the words at recommend were changed to advise. The same thing. The word shall has not changed.
Yeah.
So that's not changed. Instead of the word consider and recommend, it's review and recommend. Again, not really.
There was some additional language, however, under section 8 that was suggested in the copy that I sent you and was pasted, both attached and pasted into that email, which
We had a considerable discussion on this section.
did.
And we voted, I don't know what the vote was,
Yeah.
pretty significant.
It moved
And
through.
so I think opening it up for piecemeal alterations,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
opposed to
just
that.
wording changes. You're gonna see it in terms of editing. I'm just gonna give the example on 8. It says, again, the shall is up above, shall hear parking citation appeals in the manner authorized by ordinance. That's what the language currently says. That it was our addition, in the manner of authorized by ordinance. The chair of the parking commission asked us to consider serve as the hearing body for parking citation
This is
appeals.
alteration.
Number 8, I'm on,
I'm happy to do it, but I think we need to spend time, so.
yeah,
I don't
on
think
page
we need to
31.
waste time on
We're
all this.
reopening the vote.
We're reopening.
well, can I just say something that in the opening sentence of number 8 here, parking citation commissions,
This makes sense.
It
Go ahead.
appeals, yeah.
Go ahead.
it says if authorized by ordinance, however.
No,
that
it's
was
been
before-
changed. It's been changed. We're already up to draft 14. It always says, it has
Right.
said,
This was
in the
draft
manner
14.
of, in the manner of authorized by, not if, in the manner of, in the manner authorized by ordinance. In fact, I think town council just has.
Madam Chairman,
They,
the vote
they,
on the
they
parking
just passed
commission
that ordinance.
Correct,
the
so that's
vote
what it says, yes.
was what, 100%. It was a unanimous vote.
Joe, I understand that.
Right.
We're just trying to clean things up, and so I do understand that vote. So
Mm,
you'll
We're
see
changing
this.
the word from shall to could.
No,
and
we're not
that's-
changing the word from shall. It still says shall. There's no
Okay, what-
substantive
what-
change.
Look,
Okay,
I'm happy to
so-
move it forward. Just tell me what it is
You'll
we're looking
see
at and what changed. Because
Okay, as
because,
I
uh,
just said, on
it's
page
hard to keep up with all the
31,
rest.
I understand. What I suggested to you is that tonight you will see these very modest changes that already have been reflected on, up to, and including, version 14. And the only change that the commissioner has suggested, she's got a couple of changes, they're very easy, but number 8 is Here,
Being
page
C.
31.
But it's not 31 on version 14.
I'm sorry, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I'm on,
Yes, it is.
excuse me.
is. Is it?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, it's 31.
Sorry.
Okay, it currently says hearing parking citation appeals in the manner authorized by ordinance. And Commissioner Bemis has recommended, and it's just for clarifying purposes, serve as the hearing body for parking citation appeals in the manner authorized by ordinance. That's it.
Why are we wasting time? If it's so semantic.
I just
why-
wasted 4 minutes going back and forth about this. So what I'm suggesting to you, as I said before, you will see these modifications. I will highlight them. As these changes come in from different people, yourselves included, you will see these modifications and you can get back to me and say, yes, I like it. No, I don't. It's totally fine.
Can I make
I'm just giving you go
This was
ahead.
a unanimous ordinance that we voted on.
This is a de minimis change.
I know.
It's unanimous
Literally.
ordinance.
Listen, it's editing. This is what we do. We're editing the report. Yes, Jennifer.
Can we maybe have a vote on Friday then after we read
I
all
think-
Oh,
this?
yeah, no, we will.
I think we
Absolutely.
need
I don't think I can vote for this.
I am not asking for your
Okay,
vote on
okay,
this. As I said.
I thought you
these are-
said when we started, like, I want to vote on this tonight. I'm like, oh.
That was on something different. That
Okay.
was on the topic of current use on public
Okay.
property. It's not on the parking commission. I will make the point and then I'm moving on. There are edits that we will be making to this draft report. And I appreciate everyone's comments on these edits, okay? You will see them. I've identified them all. They're always highlighted. I welcome your comments. We're just moving on. I'm telling you, we received comments from the parking commission and I consider them de minimis. And you'll see those in the next draft, which is draft.
So anybody can send a comment in that.
I feel that somebody who's ahead of the,
I
parking
agree with that.
commission is
I agree with that.
worthy
Just so
of
I-
comments.
I believe that the idea
Okay,
of.
I want to move on. I understand your position and I want to move on.
From the last.
Okay, thank you, Nancy.
Let me,
So-
if I could just say one closing comment. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And the reason being is that we spent considerable time as a commission working on this language prior, the original draft, which was subsequently overturned and rewritten. And that's fine, but we never had a chance after that series of changes to come in and weigh in. So that this was today the only time I saw the revised draft this morning, to which I have responded to Kathleen, Steve, who was our representative throughout, and to Tucker. So that's my intention here. And it was simply to help refine and tighten the scope of what I understand to be the intention of maintaining the original scope of authority within the Parking Commission. So my intent is simply to help clarify that.
And it's absolutely
Thank you.
respected and we're grateful for that, Nancy. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. All right, let's go back to more substantive items. And we're moving on. We've briefly talked about page 22. Sorry if I'm sounding grouchy, but I've been up.
Do you want to
I've
do,
been up
do you
late
want to
last
do the
night.
legal, do you want to do the legal section first? There was one change that Deanna had recommended,
Which one?
legal. Deanna had recommended one
The
change.
town,
on the,
the town attorney?
The town attorney.
Okay.
Where is that?
Town
I hadn't
attorney.
seen the read.
That is, what section was it again?
It's on, and I actually have chatted with.
Page.
Figured out what we could do to work with everybody.
You have some
Go to
comments?
page 35.
35.
Okay.
Did you go through this yesterday or not?
We did.
After me? Yeah,
We did.
all right.
So town attorney is
Yeah, so-
Article 20.
I just thought the way it should be written on at the beginning and the end of the paragraph is the Board of Selectmen shall appoint and retain.
There you go.
Okay, so,
Where is this?
First line.
okay, we're
Oh,
right
it's
here,
down
page
here?
35,
I think
right, at
it's
the
a gr-
bottom.
at the
And,
t-
and the
top, yeah.
question became, for town attorney, under state statutes, are we appointing or are we
And
retaining?
I think you're going to appoint them and retain them. But
Okay.
Nick, do you have a
And Nick,
different answer?
yeah.
The only problem I have with I kind of like the existing language because
Okay.
appoint is what you do with a town officer or board member. And the way that this is set out, it's not specifically defining the town attorney as a town officer. And I think that was the intention why they used the word retain, Board of Selectmen shall retain,
So they
in
used
the,
it.
in the prior iteration. I mean, unless you want to define the town attorney as a town, I get confused now because there's so many versions that I hope we've cleaned up. Officer versus official. I mean, the officers are who get appointed. So I don't think appointed is right. If the intention
No,
is
it's
to,
retained. It's always
So I was
retained.
trying to,
The original version.
The
was
original
appointed.
version is appointed,
And
and
I
that was
changed
10
it-
years ago.
and I changed it to
Yes,
retain.
And we
and then
questioned
And
it.
Deanna
Oh,
said,
really?
can it be appointed? So I was trying to,
No,
Balance
it's
it.
retained.
And so
Yeah.
I
was
had a
correct.
conversation with Nick today. He said it's retained.
I was
So
right.
it shouldn't
He's
have
right.
been
I guess
appointed in the beginning.
That's
So,
what I said.
Okay, so we're done there.
Okay, so should,
Just, I have a question.
Yeah.
And I hope this is a substantive question, but Nick, if the town council wants to appoint or retain an attorney, whatever the right terminology is, and the attorney has to get paid and they have to get funding, can the town itself, absent the town council, not fund them so that therefore they're not allowed to hire an attorney?
I mean, everything needs to flow through the budget and appropriation process to get paid for. So
Ultimately would
But I
be,
just, so if the town council feels like they need an attorney, it can be blocked by the Board of Finance, you're telling me?
Board of Selectmen, because they're the purchase.
Sorry, one second, let him answer the question. Board of Finance? They're the budget
agent.
people, right?
No, the
sorry,
budget is actually
what's the question for me?
The question for you is if what I'm trying to understand simply is there are certain people have the authority to appoint counsel or to retain, whatever the right term is, okay? And if someone feels like they really need to have counsel, and it's a serious matter, can they be precluded from hiring that counsel because they don't get budgetary money? I'm just trying to understand this.
Yeah, people can't, boards and commissions can't just go hire their own counsel unless you build, unless you build. Do you want me to finish my answer or not?
The boards and commissions. I'm sorry, finish your answer.
I mean, unless you build that authority into the charter saying, yeah, boards and commissions can hire their own attorneys subject to budget appropriation. I mean, there's no way around that. I mean, anyone who wants to pay for any professional service needs to get money appropriated for that purpose. So yeah, the answer is if there's no money available, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, Madam Chairman, I don't know how the right way of building it into the charter would be. It would seem to me that if somebody, I mean, I'm not sure I like the whole way this legal thing works, but assuming this is the way it works, it seems to me if someone wants to hire, an important body like the town council wants to hire an attorney, they should either be, some money earmarked in the budget in the beginning of the year, or there'd be some words written in that, because I'm sure that any of the prestigious law firms in Connecticut would say, if you promise you're going to pay me next year after it comes out of the budget, we'll bill you next year. So there's a mechanism for doing it. But it just seems to me that for an appointed body to be able to stop an elected body from hiring counsel just can't possibly be the right answer.
I do know that we have, in the case of the Ethics Board, which we've already reviewed, is on section, it's on page 34, under the Ethics Board, section E. It says that they have the ability to, the following general powers and duties, engage independent counsel for ethics matters under review. It doesn't, I don't know, Nick, if you're suggesting that should also say subject to budget authority.
No idea.
I don't either. Yeah.
It all has to go through the Board of Selectmen.
That was
This
the point
is
I was making
not,
before.
this is.
Any purchase,
Absolutely.
0 to 1,500 department head, 1,500 to 10,000 first selectman,
Yeah, right.
10,000 above Board of Selectmen.
No way, Jose. You can't, you're telling me the Board of Ethics feels like they need to hire a law firm. And because one of the selectmen are being challenged and the selectmen have the right to approve that, that can't be.
No, it would be
It would go to the
approved
Board of
in the
Finance and then
regular
Town Council.
budget. It wouldn't be approved per incident.
Well,
they would have the right to seek legal. I did the same thing. I went outside of general counsel, and that needs to be in here. There's no way I had anybody that could have handled that asbestos suit.
No, but I'm just
I
saying.
mean, or the FAA.
But
There
if the
has to
ethics-
be something here where
But if the
you,
ethics committee wants to
Right.
hire counsel, because they have a really sticky ethics problem, let's just say with
yeah,
the first selectman or the second selectman or
they
third
should have
selectman.
an independent right to do that.
They should have an independent.
And
right
it
to-
should be
That's all I'm saying.
understood in the beginning of the year. Now, where do you put that? You put that
Yeah.
in
That
ethics
would-
or do you
That
put
would
that
be, that would
here?
be an appropriation. Go ahead, Russ.
Has this manifested as a problem with the FAA and all these other things? Has anyone denied?
Well,
counsel?
no, but I did it. Nobody's done that since. I mean, that you've got big issues.
But did you
need-
did you get budgetary authority?
No, I took it as
And
a
who gave you
special,
budgetary authority?
the Board of Selectmen.
Or was it the town council?
No,
The budgetary
no.
authority?
No, it was, no, it's Board of Selectmen.
Was it less than a certain?
How is the
amount?
It
board of
was a
selectmen
lot.
the budget authority?
Because
counsel.
it's you take it out of either your legal budget or you take it out of whatever's left that you transferred. But it was major money. I mean, it's a lot of money. That was all contingency.
All right, let's,
The reason you.
That was
the reason you put it
contingency,
into
so
the
there was
ethics-
no
the reason
appropriation.
It was in the ethics written that way, is because every ethics board in the world has the right to retain
Yeah,
counsel on their
for
own
sure.
without checking.
For sure.
And I just,
It
and
has to be somewhere. I agree with them. But
it is in this particular case, I think there's one other audit. Thank you.
Yes, it's
Thank
an audit.
you.
We added this to ethics after that conversation with Alexandra,
Right.
okay.
but
did it audit?
it's only an audit too, I believe. Let me just double check because I know we put
It
it,
might be, but what it's committee normally.
I believe we
But I
put
would
it in
think,
audit,
I mean,
yeah.
I would think that I'd be happy to take it out of order if you gave it to the town council, because if the orders went to the town council, they didn't,
But I guess my question is, if the town council wanted to hire their own attorney, let's say,
This has been, the audit one has been in the ordinance and in the charter for the last 10 years, the ability to retain independent counsel.
right,
well, I think Jen, I know where you're going, but the question is, based on what I heard yesterday, is why it came up, is I think the town council has to ask for the money. It's possible that they could be denied. Now, I don't know what the heck they would do with that.
No, I think that's assumed in the budget when it's passed in the beginning of the year that well, it should have been.
Should be, but that's not what,
It should have been.
But issues come up mid-year.
You darn right they do.
It's hard
So
to
it
budget
has
for
to be
something like that. I can't
active.
imagine
All
what
of
that's
this is
gonna be
about
like.
active.
It'd be an appropriation and anybody who just, I mean, like anything, you go and you ask for the money.
but do you ask, who's the budget authority? Town council,
town
right?
council's a budget.
Yeah, it goes Board of Finance, then Town Council,
But town council is the budget authority, correct?
ultimately, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they are under the statute, they're the budget authority.
Correct.
Right,
Town council.
But there's a
all right.
number in the budget
Yeah,
for
we're moving
legal.
off track here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Okay.
are.
So how do we write this in to
Okay.
get, cover all
I don't think
this?
we're gonna be able to do that today.
Yeah.
That seems-
But it needs to be changed.
I know, but I feel
Yeah.
like this is about a specific topic that has come up today or like recently, and we're trying to put into the charters a problem that.
I'm not trying, I'm not saying it come up recently, I mean,
Discussion about under section 20, town attorney. And it sort of
Yeah.
has gone to
Yeah, and so, yeah.
another discussion, but
Can I ask Nick, are there any examples where the town council has the right to hire their own attorney so that they go sue people or do things or get advice that you're aware of in any other charters? Or is this just something?
Not off the top of my head, no.
That's,
off the top of your head, you're not aware of it, or off the top of your head, I mean,
if.
Yes,
let me-
Todd's question was, am I aware of any other charter provisions?
so,
And I
Tom,
said no.
the question came up the way someone said, when we submit our report, the town council is gonna go and hire their own attorney to get some second opinions. And someone said to me, they can't do that because they don't have the budget.
Right, that happened yesterday.
And so I don't want to get, we can make it retroactive after the new charter. It's not about this issue, but it just seems to me, that's insane.
What concerns me on this issue is that people think they might need legal advice if they don't get access to it, they could make some very serious mistakes.
I guess.
Well, Give me an example of where it's happened.
They
I-
just don't like the
Hold on.
opinion, and so they want different legal advice. That's it.
That's
Thank you.
right.
That's really what it is, guys. I'm sorry, but like the town attorney, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the town attorney. Okay.
Yes.
That is consistency in rendering legal advice to the town and its bodies. So,
Well,
I mean, if you have every board getting different counsel with all sorts of different opinions, I don't think that's good governance, guys.
Well, I just.
Okay, hold on a second, Russ, and
So
then.
I'm a big proponent of, and I to paraphrase Chris, would agree as well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about something as impactful as the charter. And thus far, I've not heard a instance where this has actually been manifested as a problem.
Yeah, okay, Bill.
It's
And then
I was just gonna say, I was
It's a
just gonna be
Concern, a
saying,
hypothetical, but a very broad
I
hypothetical.
was just going to say, I would be happy, if there was just a general counsel for the, like, companies, for the town,
Right.
and everybody went through the general counsel. But if people can hire them to allow somebody to block it, because of budgetary,
It's
well,
bodies.
it's what?
The bodies.
Bodies, it's not
well,
someone.
it's the,
Yeah.
well, when the body is appointed by a person, it becomes a person. And it's not the first selectman, this is gonna change
They
in
were
2 years.
elected.
That's
What-
right, it's gonna change.
It's
So
gonna change, so
not
we're just, so
based
I'm
on
just saying,
any one
I just
person.
don't think it's, I could get to the point real where, can't go out for outside opinions, ethics board aside, unless you have a defalcation order or something of that nature, but once you say you can do it, then you can't block it with the budget, so, I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Wait,
Well, that's it right there, Bill. I mean, if you've built in an inherent right to counsel under the charter, that is a right.
That's fine. That's it.
I mean, there should, I mean, I don't know what kind of games can get played on the budget side. Oh, okay, we'll give you $10. But I mean, that's giving rise to some sort of claim or conflict that the town or the budgetary authority is operating outside of what the charter requires. So, I mean, I think putting in a right to separate counsel, in a sense, obligates whatever budget authority to reasonably and rationally consider a request for a legal budget, whether that's at the beginning of the year in the normal budget cycle or mid-year as an appropriation.
So you're saying it's built into since they have the right, it's built in that the funding has to follow.
There's 12 members of the town council.
Yeah, if
Someone
you-
can vote no.
Yeah, but
That's
one
their
can
choice,
vote no,
it's
but
12.
yeah,
Yeah, they still have to have a majority. I highly,
it's really going to the Board of Finance that would be concerned about.
there's 9 people there. Ultimately, everything goes to
Yeah, but
the
if
town council.
Nick is saying that once you have the right, that it has to, I think he didn't say these words, it has to be funded. Put that in the minutes, and I rest my case.
It does
Can
require
I just
budget
read something to everybody? Town attorney at the request of the Board of Selectmen shall represent the town and all the departments, boards, commissions, and officers of the town.
Yeah.
It's there. I mean, the problem, as I see it, is if you start doing what you want to do, and let's take a wild example that the Democrats control the town council, and you have a Republican first selectman, and the Democrats want to create havoc. They start hiring attorneys to fight with that. We can create such a bad thing. I mean, this provision about attorneys says you shall represent all the commissions.
That's not actually the case because they don't have to represent ethics or audit.
But that's separate.
They do represent
That's separate,
ethics and
that's
others.
separate.
They
Unless
do,
they
if
engage
have
outside
other
counsel.
independent.
But
So
they
I
have
think to-
special permission.
They
That's what-
To
represent-
Bill's point, let's maybe add to the town council that they can engage outside counsel.
They can already.
They can.
It's already declared that they have access in the charter.
It says right there.
I think the issue here is if they're retaining outside counsel, do they need to go through the town's council? I mean, this is really what we're talking about, and the answer should be no.
No.
So so how do you put that in so it's clear and doesn't become a, tit to tat?
Christina had a comment.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Christina.
she's
You
mad.
have to sit close, so you're not, every second matters here.
The town council cannot add to the budget. So we can't put it in the budget to have, to retain counsel.
Right.
It has to be approved through the process, the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance. We cannot take it out of contingency unless the Board of Finance approves it.
Correct.
And if that's the case, the Board of Selectmen controls it. So we can't get it that way. There have been incidents where the town council is complete disagreement with the opinion of the town attorney, and two things happen. In this revision, you say that the town attorney shall give written legal opinion. They do not give written legal opinion. It seems to be word of mouth, and if you want, it's going to cost extra. That's what I have heard.
Where does it say legal written opinion?
You have to go back. It's written there that it will give.
I don't, all seeing that.
Yeah.
But going back to your other, sorry.
So we have had situations where even the attorneys on town council in past years have not agreed with the opinion of the town attorney.
Okay.
And we're in a locked position. We can't move forward, we can't move backward, we can't get a second opinion. And it's all precluding the fact that we don't have the monies allowed to do it. One step further, the Board of Selectmen has precluded members of the town council from seeking the counsel of the town attorney many times. And I'm not talking about just this administration, I'm talking about other administrations, where we have to get approval, either by the chairman, who then is affected by the Board of Selectmen, and or if there is malfeasance or if there's any issue whatsoever, we cannot go to the town attorney. So I'll leave it in your hands.
I don't see, and you don't have to leave, Christina, right away. I don't see what you're referencing about the written opinion.
It's on the second page of the town attorney part. The town attorney shall issue written.
Oh,
opinions
issue
on
written
questions.
opinions on the top, the question of law, okay. And you said they didn't issue?
No, they don't, not always. We can ask for it and we don't get it. But
I had forgotten about the fact, on a budgetary, so you can't increase the budget. That's something a penny one to do. I'm not in favor of that, but that is
Yeah,
an element of
okay.
this.
So how do
I
you, so
didn't
how do you
think-
rectify?
I don't know.
I didn't think it was that
I don't know.
complicated, sorry.
So I agree. I don't know how you rectify a problem, a mess, right?
You vote the first selectman out if you don't like what they're doing. If
Yeah.
they're not,
Well,
if
that's,
they're not providing.
it's too late.
I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't care either way. None of this
Yeah.
affects my life. I think you're inviting chaos if you do this.
I can.
For me.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. But to me, you gotta do
No, I
it.
I don't disagree with you. If you could have every little thing, you vote, it'd be chaos. But every 3 years or every 10 years, that could be a big thing. And so I'm just trying to, how do you deal with that? I don't want to create the chaos.
My dad always tells me, be careful what you ask for, because things change and all of a sudden you're gonna have a situation where you voted this in, so town council has authority, but then you have a totally different town council. That's not the people you know. And all of a sudden that the world's gonna change. We're here as a group for not today and not for the people we know who are in
that's
charge,
right. You
but
have
the
to
people who
remember
may be in
that.
charge. And I'm giving the example. I'm a centrist. You may have all Democrats who want to take over the world tomorrow and throw out all Republican ideas, or vice versa. So we have to be careful what we put into this charter, because things change, in my opinion.
And I think the other point is that good governance depends on the individuals involved, whatever their political party affiliation, actually trying to work together to provide the best form of government for this town. And we cannot legislate for good behavior and a willingness to work together and to compromise.
Well, you can, you fire the person, you elect somebody else the next.
You can't
election.
legislate for it
No,
through the
you can't
charter.
legislate, that's correct.
but we did already with the office with people working on the operating budget, operating policy. We legislated that, where we said, everyone has to follow the operating
Well,
rules.
maybe since I started this, we could stop, but maybe Nick could take a look at the words. We're coming back with other words. And it would just seem to me that, to get from where we are to the next place, if we had a full-time council, there would be, people could go to the council, whether it be me, you, the town council, and get advice. And we can't restrict that. Now, sometimes you don't like the advice you get, but TS, you can't like everything, right? But we got to figure some words here to.
So,
I think I don't disagree with you. I think that's probably the right answer at some point, but we don't have a full-time attorney that runs here and then goes and hires the other firms like Stanford does. They have a town attorney that you can always go ask.
So, I mean, maybe,
It's a certain
well,
budget
but
level.
I do,
Budget level, I know.
but I do think, but for good governance, we shouldn't be restricted by budget.
Right.
I mean, we have to be mindful of budget.
Everything is restricted.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everything's restricted, but
But
you know,
there's a
my
difference,
point
yeah.
is, the only thing, I mean, we do spend a lot of money in this town for a lot of different things. And I just don't want the only thing to be restricted is going to get good legal advice. So I'm just asking if Nick could take a look at some words to
Okay,
capture that, you know. to
okay,
capture
so,
it.
So I
so,
just want to add one more thing. I don't think the intent is not to get good legal advice. I think the intent isn't to go get continual legal advice till you hear what you want to hear and then create a problem.
That's an
That could be-
incredibly good point, because the last thing you want is if you don't like the answer, now you have two different law firms for two different parts of government.
Yeah.
Fighting
That
against
can always
each other,
find
that
out.
opens
Yeah.
chaos, and there will always be an issue where two different groups don't see eye to eye.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
no,
will
That's
always
not
be
how we're
Racing's thing.
structured, that's not how we should be structured.
No, I agree.
Okay,
And
so,
ka-ching, you know, the cost of all this goes up.
so
I would take
Gotta take care of
out,
those attorneys.
I'd take
But I
out the
would-
whole,
okay, hold on,
I would
one at a
just-
time. Judy, go ahead. And
What
then-
page
I
you on,
would ta-
Judy?
I would take, I'm on 36, the
Okay.
top.
Yep,
I'd take out the whole last two sentences because that says nothing. If you get into a issue that is so big and so unusual, you're not going to refer to your town attorney anyway. No offense, but it's just, that's not who's going to manage it.
I would.
Oh, no, I would do a search and I'd figure it out.
No, but
That's
if
what
you had
you
a,
should
well,
be.
No,
say that,
you're reading
say
it
what you
wrong,
just
Judy.
said.
I would
Yeah, I
do
don't
a
think
search and figure it out.
No, you're reading it wrong, Judy. They're saying responsible for the oversight of the new attorney that's running it. So they would go hire a specialist and they would just act as oversight for it.
But that's what she's saying.
It's
She would
hard.
rather go
It's-
directly hire the specialist herself,
Yeah.
as opposed to having an intermediary being.
I called every lawyer in town. There was nobody to help me out when it was asbestos. No one knew. I figured it out. Same thing with FAA. We ended up in
So
Chicago.
then you're adding cost upon cost to manage that cost of that specialty.
So
attorney.
why would you even say that? I mean, it's unrealistic.
I don't think so. I go out a lot of times for my clients and hire specialists. And they still rely on me to make sure the specialist is doing his job.
Yeah.
I don't think it's,
Because your client doesn't have the
and they don't necessarily
ability to
know
know
this
the law.
person, so they
Yeah.
want that
Well,
intermediary to manage. So I don't think it's,
it's a
I understand what you're
duplication
saying.
is what it is.
I'm just
yeah.
not sure it's unusual.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
I'll just add in, it's probably appropriate and responsible for the town attorney to know what's going on
Oh, I agree
in
with
these
that.
situations that requires these specialty cases. So I mean, what Todd just said is commonplace. If there's a specialist needed for a particular role, we outsource it and bring that person in. But the town attorney is the one who on the day-to-day is familiar with the operations of this town and this community, this particular charter, this particular code, which is different from town to town. And some specialist, I'll tell you, is not going to just come in and know all of the nuances that are probably going to be helpful in defending some crazy asbestos case. Or, you know, so I mean, it's
They
sort of
did.
like a team effort here. You don't just hire. I'm sorry, Judy?
They did very fast. Yeah. I had two firms that bid, actually, yeah.
So, okay,
Okay.
all right, I don't think this was under
That's not
this
what we should be
attorney,
talking
right.
about. Right, just leave
So,
it. It's fine.
Okay, we're gonna
Whatever.
leave that. There is a highlighted reference there, and this was somebody added, or if there is a conflict, and this, if required, so let's say the town attorney, there's a conflict with the town attorney.
Yeah.
For whatever, or
Yeah.
they're also advising the other side of a suit, as an example, okay? And if the town attorney, if there's a conflict, it says the town council, and then the question is, or board of selectmen, question mark, and shall be responsible for the management of an outside counsel. And so this is where, Nick, you were just saying, you know, look, even if you couldn't handle a case or something that the town was asking and you were handling the other side, who is responsible for the management of any outside counsel? And this would be obvious if you were covering somebody else. You wouldn't be managing
We
our
sue
new
Westport.
counsel. I beg your
We
pardon?
sue Westport or one of the other
Yeah,
towns.
right. If we were in some sort of suit with Westport. And so the reference there was if there was a conflict with the town and you, would somebody else, either the town council or the board of selectmen, be responsible for the management of the outside council?
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. That's the whole piece.
I don't, in the extreme case, how do you feel about that?
I'm indifferent which body is the overseer. I mean, I'm just trying to think for a moment of where there is some sort of conflict or appearance of conflict. I mean,
Right.
conflict waivers are often utilized, but if it is a directly adverse situation, I mean, under your language, the other council, I guess, would fall under the management or supervision of the town attorney. So yeah, I guess you would have to assign somebody for that purpose. Whether it's the town council or the board of selectmen, I don't think is my,
No,
my
that's
call.
right, but I just wanted you to understand that it would be somebody other than the town attorney.
Would have to be.
Sure,
Right.
of course.
And okay, so that's agreed. And then I would suggest that it be the board of selectmen, only because all of the language is in terms of the board of selectmen shall retain a law firm, blah, blah, blah.
They're the
It's
ones
just
who, they're
consistent.
managing it to begin
Yeah.
with.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the Board of Selectmen is the
Yeah.
executive.
Okay, so I'm making a change to that language, and we should be done on town
All right,
attorney.
all right.
Just one
Yeah.
suggestion, going back to that broader discussion, how about if we, like the audit committee and the ethics committee, if we gave the chairman of the town council the right to retain counsel?
I think everybody's gonna, it's a slippery slope.
Just-
Board of Finance would do it,
Oh, I see the chairman
Board
of
of
council, I see the
Selectmen.
chairman of town
You make
council.
an audit's different.
Totally different. I mean, I.
They are so different.
Yeah.
They,
Sorry, Karen.
I was just saying the same. Ethics and audit makes sense because they're directly
100%.
ethically
Yeah,
Yeah.
reviewing the rest of the town, so it makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think you need to change the wording here. If required, the town attorney shall be, as opposed to if required, the town attorney shall be responsible for the management of any outside counsel, blah, 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 blah.
Which is what we just assessed, right?
Right, and then we should add a new wording that says, if in the event there is a conflict with the town attorney, the board of selectmen shall manage directly that counsel, right?
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Are we done on town attorney?
Sorry, but that was an easy
One
one.
last thing.
Thank you for opening it.
I think we need to get rid
Thanks,
of
Todd.
may appoint. It should just say, just be
Yeah,
consistent
The
to
last sentence,
retain.
yeah. We should just say retain the last sentence.
Yeah, I took that out. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Did we finish town treasurer?
Wasn't there an issue with compensation on that? And they sent the statute, right? There's a
Yes.
statute number. And I think you actually sent something out, or somebody sent something out.
I saw,
Was it Nick?
actually Nick sent
Nick
something
sent
out on that.
Yeah, can you talk about that for 1 second with compensation with the treasurer? You've done some research for us.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to walk and chew gum here and still tweak that other section that you wanted me to. What was the question, Todd?
The town treasurer you had sent out, you did some research on town treasurer compensation and I forgot what it was now.
Yeah, well, I think the question what I sent out this morning, the question was if the town treasurer,
Age compensation, right?
there's going to be a compensation change, does that require
Referendum.
a referendum?
Yeah.
And I think
Does that get into our
No.
discussion?
That's pretty big.
It's only
for-
to
yeah.
legislative body.
For sure.
Isn't the statute say that only if the legislative body requires, like, let's say we paid town council. If the legislative body
36.
needs a raise, then they can't give themselves a raise. It has to go to referendum.
Right.
No. The legislative body, the statute talks about the legislative body, town
I
council.
meant town council, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
So
My
if the
bad.
town council wants to, let's say we paid all of town council,
They have
I
to do
believe-
referendum.
they then have to do a referendum because I just can't go award myself some money because I'm the legislative and
So that
budget
doesn't
authority.
exist. We don't have that.
We don't have that.
No,
Yeah.
so let's.
So I don't know.
Here was the question, I believe. There was a sentence under compensation, the town treasurer's salary shall be solely set by the town council pursuant to general statutes as the town's legislative body and budget authority. What does happen, however, under our charter, as everyone knows, while the town council is the budget authority, it does, under the charter, require us to go through the Board of Finance first, okay?
Yep.
So that's not in the state statutes, but it is in our charter. So when the town treasurer was saying, well, it's solely set by the town council, no, that's not true, because it goes through a process that everybody goes through.
Well, but
And so that was, I mean, this was language that he had inserted, but, so we just said shall be set by the town council pursuant to general, so we just took out solely because in our charter,
Yeah.
Board of Finance is part of the
well,
process.
I think.
But isn't the
Well,
I'm
not
not-
in the final approval of the salary, but in
No, the
terms
final
of the
approval is the
budget.
town
Town
council.
council,
Absolutely.
But the Board of Finance does not
No,
Yeah.
approve, Board of Finance does not approve individual compensation. They set an amount
the
of money,
budget. It's
they're
the
gonna
budget.
say your salary increases this year are gonna be 3.5%,
Yes.
whatever number
The
they're gonna be.
budget.
And they set it aside in the budget, right? And so you're really getting into the individual person. And I believe the budget authority and the legislative authority, Nick, in the town is the town council. So I think solely is correct. But as I reflected on this, as this was brought up, it came to my attention that, and I would look back at some minutes, and I only had a few minutes before the 4 o'clock meeting started, that it seems like there's been a change recently where the first selectman's salary,
We're talking about the treasurer's salary here.
has actually gone to the Board of Finance for approval. As I said to myself,
But it goes through that process.
well, she appoints the people that are approving her salary. I always wish I
That's
had
right.
that.
Can I
That
just
didn't
point
work.
out for those who are unfamiliar with the process for
But I think it
officers?
is solely, I think it is solely is what I'm getting at, because.
It is not solely.
I mean-
Our charter has the Board of Finance being very much a part of the budget process. And let me just point out something, because I think that there might be some confusion here. And I served on the Board of Finance, I served on the town council and on the Board of Selectmen. I ran for town treasurer. I'm very familiar with the process of how compensation is set for a position. And first of all, that compensation is set before the election, right? Because it could be anybody
right.
who's, so you're not voting for the individual person just because, gee, Kathleen, you did a great job and we're going to give her a 5% raise and so forth. No, it's about the position. And you don't want to get to a position, if it was about the individual, where suddenly you're paying them $200,000 and now somebody at a lesser level gets elected and suddenly you're paying them $200,000. It's about the position, not the person. Okay, always has been. Always has been. And so if you don't vote for this before the election, you can't subsequently change it and say, well, so-and-so is now in that position. He's doing a fabulous job. She's doing a fabulous job. Let's give them a raise. It's always got to be
Yeah,
before the election.
I just,
And you got to set it through the budget process. And in some cases, it's because it's
who
before the
sets that, who
election.
sets that?
Because it's before the election, it's not actually in the budget, right? Because it's before the election. You have to make those changes afterwards, but it still has to be voted on.
Who, if you make the change afterwards, and look, this, what you explain is that it's set by somebody, town
Yeah.
council, I guess.
Who's gonna,
Who sets it?
who remembers the process, which has been since
But before the election,
the dawn
who's
of
the number that
time.
comes up with, who comes up with that number?
Whoever comes up with the number, maybe Christina knows, but it's been since the dawn of time.
Okay, but who is that person?
I will find out for you,
No,
Bill.
I'm not trying to, and I think that's the person that sets, I think,
It follows a statutory process.
yeah, all I'm saying is, I think you have to find
Yeah.
the answer. The person who sets that salary,
It's a group, not an individual.
The town council
Yeah.
sets the salary,
okay, well, they solely do it.
right? They're the legislative body per the statute,
Okay,
right?
so,
They solely do.
okay, they shall be set. So there are lots of people involved in the discussion.
But I assume, well,
Lots of people.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope
It's
so.
not just the town council. It's not a sole.
Well, but at the end of the day, someone has to set it.
Yes, and that's what we're saying, shall be set. That's
Hi,
what we're saying.
Kathleen.
Yes,
Hi, Andrew Brooks here. So I just wanted to quickly offer some information just based on my own experience over the last 13 years, because this does come up every 2 years. The town council is the only body that has historically taken a vote on the salary levels for all the compensated officials like first selectman, treasurer, and town clerk.
Right.
And that's on their agenda every 2 years to take it up. It just so
Yes.
happened that this past year, apparently they forgot to put it on their agenda for a conversation. But to your point, the Constitution of the state only requires that the salary be set prior to the next term of office. It doesn't have to be set during the budget process. It's preferred that it be done during the budget process, of course. But I think that led to the current situation, which is that some are saying, oh, well, the Board of Finance has to take some kind of vote. And that has not been the history of this. It's always just been, I think, informal feedback may have been given from certain Board of Finance members to the town council, but the sole vote to set salaries only was happening at town council, and that was the number that would always get penciled into the budget. There was no, it was not part of the Board of Finance's recommended budget to the council. They would usually do that first, and then the council would pencil in a number after that point in the process. So I think
there was a process.
None of
There was
this
a
changes
process.
anything that's on this.
It doesn't change anything that's
Nothing
that's
is
on
different
there.
than what's on here.
The town
So we're
clerk doesn't
good.
have this language solely set by the town council.
But
It's a
I
process.
think it should be there for all of the compensated officials, honestly.
It's a process. It's a
Could be a vote.
process.
What's
It's
the
worked.
process?
I beg your pardon?
What's the process?
The process is, regardless of whether or not this individual is done before or after budget, it's part of the process, because after the
What's the
individual
process?
gets the payment or starts getting their salary, which is January 1st, if I'm not mistaken, that's gonna be
It's-
into the budget. Is that right? That changed?
No. So it takes effect at the start of the term. So for the first selectman, and town treasurer, that's 2 weeks after the November
After
election
they
date.
get that elected.
And then the
Okay.
town clerk's term begins in January of the next year, and that's when that salary takes effect.
That's
But the
January
challenge,
date.
but the challenge we're in right now is, and I think maybe it needs its own separate section, something like notwithstanding other provisions of the charter around budget process, the town council, in accordance with the statutes, as the legislature and the budget authority, solely sets the salary. Because the problem is it's currently now been in this hot potato of back and forth between the boards, which is pretty unprecedented. And I think it's created a lot of confusion, and it's required legal to write lengthy opinions. And I know Nick had written
I
a
didn't
2-page
get that at
opinion.
all. Yeah, I saw that about yes, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah. Again, one of these things that I don't think matters either way for me, but I think the word solely takes out the fact that after it's set by the town council, there's still more to do. It has to get approved by the town. It just doesn't end there, right? Right, there's more to do.
Yeah, that's
The
it.
Board of
Oh,
Finance
so-
doesn't vote on it. There's
No.
Town
not,
council, the last stop.
That's it.
They're the last stop on the train.
who's the
Yeah.
first stop?
Wait, tell me,
Budget.
who's last stop on the?
So,
So they do it solely.
no, I'm just trying to understand. So,
I don't understand why we care about this word solely.
yeah, I don't care either.
Here's one main reason. One reason is, right, because the Board of Selectmen appoints the Board of Finance, you have an inherent conflict of interest if that board is setting the salaries of the people that appoint them. The idea behind they would be, right? If we're saying that the Board of Finance has to be weighing in on the salaries of people that appoint them, that is a conflict of interest.
It's the
Where-
budget, not the salaries, the budget.
Man,
Yes,
I
John.
think there's a simple solution. In the creation of the budget, as I read what goes on, the Board of Ed, the first selectman, they actually submit budgets to the Board of Finance, and the Board of Finance then works it through. Why not have the town council submit the recommended salary for the treasurer to the Board of Finance
Ahead of
as
time.
part of the process?
Yeah.
And then that's what'll come through.
All the elected.
All the elected officials. All the elected officials. Just make them an input to the process.
I think that's a great idea. And I
Well,
think
let's do that.
I think what we're struggling with here is because of what happened
Right.
and didn't work out. And so now we're trying to fix a problem that,
So if we make
Shouldn't
this,
happen.
we make this statutory requirement an input into the process, then everything will work.
But then you're still giving the Board of Finance then, which again is appointed by the three people that they're saying salaries for to weigh in.
Yeah, but excuse me here, but you know, this commission has already discussed and voted on whether Board of Finance should be elected or appointed, and it's going to remain appointed. And this is the process that affects not only the town treasurer as an elected official, but other elected officials who work in town hall, town clerk, the registrars of voters. So it seems very strange to me to have different language relating to the town treasurer from language that relates to the town clerk or the registrar of voters. And I don't see what solely adds here, and I think it actually muddies the clarity of the situation.
But I think Joe's suggestion is
I
excellent.
think Joe was saying.
Joe, can you just say what your suggestion was again? Second.
Very simple. When the budget is created, just forget about different departments. The Board of Selectmen provides a budget to the Board of Finance. The Board of Education provides a budget, and there might be a couple of other inputs. And then
So
the Board
does
of
the town
Finance works
council.
from that and sends it to the town council. I'm
That's
saying
better.
make the town council's authority to set the compensation for first selectman, treasurer, clerk,
All
an
elected
input,
positions.
all
Elected
of the elected,
individuals.
make that an input to the Board of Finance.
Yeah,
And then the process works. Everything works.
I got it. I know what you're saying.
that's
Okay.
good. Let me,
But then
let me wordsmith that
Oh,
and
please.
come back,
Please.
and come back, yeah,
Okay.
okay. Sorry, somebody was.
That's better.
No, just saying that makes sense.
Is that good?
That's right. It wouldn't be here, it wouldn't be in this section.
No, you
Wouldn't
put it
be
in
there,
that
it'd be
section.
somewhere else.
Put it there.
That's a broader section.
So-
General section.
I have one point though.
Unless
Do we
it's under
really
town
need then
council.
and budget authority? Because if the town council is also the legislative body and the budget authority, why don't we just keep it as the budget authority
Say it again.
and get rid of that?
Get rid of what?
The highlighted yellow.
Oh, just, it was question, you mean take out authority altogether?
Yes, as pursuant to the general statutes as the town's legislative body.
Well, the general statutes actually say, the budget authority as well. That's just.
No,
a
I
phrase
know,
from-
I remember
Just
writing
add that
this.
sentence after general statute.
I was gonna say the same exact thing.
Yep, no.
Yeah, that's good
Took the
enough.
Words right out of my mouth.
It's unnecessary. It's it's superfluous. It's
Town
over the
council.
top. It's repetition.
Yeah.
That
Just
kind of
town
thing.
It was on general statutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
period.
Let's just-
But we're also gonna delete this whole section.
Delete the whole section.
The compensation.
I
section. We're gonna
agree.
move it somewhere.
No, I know every section has compensation,
Yeah, it was a little
every
ridiculous.
elected.
It is a little ridiculous
Oh, they
that
do
words
that.
matter.
They're just gonna make it-
Words matter. They do.
Apparently they do.
They do. Nobody knows that better than all of
Only in
us.
some places.
No, it's true. They
I'm just-
mattered 10 years ago
Yeah,
too.
no, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay.
But just then, wait a second, if the town council sets the salaries, right?
Yes.
The Board of Finance can actually lower them. Right?
And then the town council doesn't have to move the budget.
No.
That's what I was intending to say.
They set
Is that what you were intending to say? Is that not what you said?
No, they,
That's what I was.
no.
But the town, no, the
They-
Board
they
of
set-
Finance can
they set the
lower them, but
salary,
they
they set-
can't.
They set the salaries.
I think in
Well,
this particular case, they are the authority.
They're the authority.
That's the,
Yeah.
but it has to go through the
Yeah.
process. So if you're gonna suddenly put in a big number over
So we're
here,
paying
the Board
Jennifer,
of Finance has got to reduce the budget over here in order to cover
If
it. They have to consider everything.
The town council.
right, but the
then-
Board of Finance could lower that
No,
recommendation
they-
from the town
The Board of
council?
Finance can, they can't lower it, they
I don't
can,
think so.
they can
They have
lower
to
the
factor it
budget.
in the overall budget.
They can lower the budget. They
Yeah.
can say, they're spending too much, we gotta cut somewhere else. That's where
Yeah.
the discussion comes in.
Yeah.
Because
I
they
see.
can't cut
Yeah.
that line item, they have to have a holistic discussion.
The town council's
And that's why
check,
it's not the solely thing. It's an
Yeah.
iterative
I think
The
process.
we
check
just.
is they don't have to
cha-
approve
Yeah,
the
I
budget.
agree with the changes that you.
Okay.
Okay, so I will
She says she doesn't
wordsmith and
agree.
come
She
back.
doesn't agree?
She said she doesn't.
All right.
She does, deal
Yes,
with it.
okay.
Okay.
Judy said she does agree, yeah.
Thank you.
You agree with the,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
do you agree with?
With
Yeah, yeah.
the conversation here, if it starts in the town council and it goes to Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen, that's where it
Okay.
emanates.
But it's not gonna be in this section?
I don't know if
Maybe
it should be
somewhere
in,
else,
I
yeah.
said
Doesn't that-
maybe it should be in the
We'll
town
find it.
council.
We'll find
It is.
out.
It
Yeah,
should be.
that's it.
But maybe that's where it should be.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
where it starts.
Let's
Yeah.
talk library.
Okay.
Let's talk library under
So
miscellaneous.
do we
provision.
just need to vote then on this, town treasurer, with that modification?
Well, we don't have the final language, but yeah, in concept, yeah, sure.
So we just said the town treasurer's salary shall be set by the town council pursuant to general statute, period, cross.
Correct.
Okay.
No, we're saying for all elected, for all the
All elected
elected, all the elected officials.
No, but we need
That's
to
not
at
this
least,
That's a different section.
So it's- it's-
because remember in clerk, we
Yes.
have the similar language
Right.
that recognizes who sets her salary.
Correct.
And then we'll add to the town council, does all elected officials
All
as the
where
language.
And then make a motion that we
Yeah.
pick up those words, that Kathleen be
Yep.
authorized to scribe those words.
Put it in
add
town
all of-
council.
And you'll see it in
And
the
that,
highlighter.
and that it
Yeah.
applies to all elected officials in the
Yes,
town.
it should.
Yeah.
I second Bill's motion.
All right.
Sorry, what was the?
You want to take a vote?
What was the motion?
There's no
The
motion.
motion,
In concept.
No, not in concept.
We can play
the
with it
motion was
later.
that the paragraph as Kathleen read was going to be written down by her. And it was going to be moved to a different section, and it was going to apply to all elected officials, which basically the town council sets compensation for all elected officials, and then gets put into the budget and.
Okay. So we're not gonna vote on that until you see the language. So,
That's it. I'm trying to
I
move
think
along.
what you're voting on is the town treasurer section. That's what we want to say. Is that-
Coming out, so,
Yeah, so,
So you want me to rephrase my motion? But
Yes.
that the town treasurer section is finished, subject to Kathleen just finalizing the words.
Right.
for
Okay,
elected.
For-
officials.
yeah.
It's
For all
not even gonna be in
elected,
this section.
all elected
Yeah.
officials.
in a different section.
All, good.
Okay, was there any
Second.
other changes under?
I second.
You seconded it?
Okay.
We,
All in favor?
Consensus.
I think we can say aye, right? Because it's only a
We
word.
all say aye in concept.
But-
On the treasurer?
Well, if we've got a
Yeah.
motion, we've got a motion, we should just do a quick roll, call, okay?
Oh,
Go
God.
ahead, this is more of a consensus thing. than I
This is
do, but go ahead.
consensus.
So I'd be
but-
happy to do it by consensus,
Yeah.
but somebody's made a motion.
But that's consensus.
Okay.
Okay, don't you
By
think?
consensus.
Okay, is anybody opposed to the changes that we've made? We haven't even gone through the whole thing, but I think
I think we did yesterday. We
I
got.
we did
it's-
it yesterday. And
Yeah,
other than the
we'll-
change that I have just stated, the town treasurer's salary shall be set by the town council pursuant to the general statutes, period. Okay, that was the only thing. Anybody against that?
No.
Okay, we have a consensus. We're moving that forward. Okay, can I go to the library now? Is everybody wearing rubber underwear? Because we're at 5:21 and we gotta get through that. Okay, we're on page 38. And this is under miscellaneous. And I'd like miscellaneous to be completed in the next few minutes. And the library is in there. And I believe if you're still with us, Nick, there was some old language there that apparently still exists under the provisions of the special act, so that
Kathleen, can I?
that needs to
can I
be,
give a little
please,
update on
yeah.
that? So the second part of that library board, this is I don't know what number that is, 20, what number has this become?
I'm on page 38.
Yes, page
Yeah.
38, library board.
Yeah.
So
24
this special act that we've just been talking about it since the beginning because it seems odd. The library directors of the town of New Canaan should not be elected by the electors or be appointed by any officers of the town. We currently have a member, the reason this is coming up is because when the new library was built, there's a memorandum of understanding between the library and the town that for 25 years or until the life of that bond, the town council can nominate 2 people. So I don't think it's in conflict with this, because this is a point, because the library is still going to appoint its own, it's going to make the decision about the appointment. The town council can nominate 2 people to be on the board of trustees, can or will, I should say, will nominate. I don't think there's any problem. I don't think we need to add that to the charter. Judy was saying.
I'm uncomfortable because it's, what went through on the MOU is 10 years and it does not say in the MOU that they will be reappointed or someone else will replace them. It's only about the 10 years. And everything, I just didn't think I've ever seen a bond that's 10 years in municipality, and I couldn't get any other information. So maybe we need to either insert that the town, the appointed, or you could say the nominated, recommended people from the town council or something to that effect as trustees for the library board will continue until the duration of the bond. It does not say that anywhere.
Well, so if that's
And
the
it doesn't
case,
say it in the
but-
MOU.
but my thought is we're the charter committee. right?
Yeah.
That's a contract issue. If they have a dispute about whether that's a 10-year or 25-year, that has nothing to do with the charter. They need to amend that contract to fix that, in my opinion.
But the only thing we found was the MOU in this language that I gave you.
Right, but I
which
just don't
is
think
the
it's
other.
relevant to this charter.
I don't know if
It doesn't
it should
feel like a
be
charter.
codified that they're gonna, the
It's
town council's
codified,
gonna
but it's
continue.
a short-term contract. It's not
Well, it's 25 years. It's not that
I mean, not
short
short-term,
term.
but I mean, it's not an ordinance, it's not a law.
No,
it's
I
a
agree with
contract
all
between
you're
the
saying,
two.
but don't you think the town, or maybe it goes under town council, but the point is, town council will either nominate or recommend, if that's the right word,
Well, that's,
someone
those are
at the end of
words.
the 10 years.
Well, that needs to be modified in the MOU.
You think?
Yeah.
I thought of that, but
Yeah.
Or
I
they could
don't,
just
I don't
say
know.
the
if
Because
it's-
MOU
that's
says
the
20
contract.
I know,
And so.
but it
if
doesn't
you
say
get-
that. It doesn't
I know,
refer
but
to
that's
that.
why you can't modify, or you shouldn't modify
Okay,
the,
well, it's just a thought.
charter
It's not covered.
deal
Let me put
with-
it that way.
an open item on the MOU.
Yeah, the
And something
MOU is
separate.
not correct.
Should we be,
Yeah.
should it be more, whenever the town is financing something, we should have representation on the board?
I have an idea. Why not we put that on our list of things that
All
they
right.
should work on?
All right, maybe
Okay,
that's a good
does that-
idea.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, definitely they should work on it. It's their MOU, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, it wasn't really well.
Holistically, Kathleen.
conceived.
Whenever they're an institution like the library, if we're advancing money, we should.
Well, we've already
well,
advanced.
Yeah, but in the
and that
future-
was,
in the future.
that was a contract that they
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
determined, which is, nobody's arguing that. And that is that the library MOU, and is it a recommendation you said, or is it?
No, it's in the contract. They
No,
will-
but what is it
In the
that they
future.
appoint? Are they
Oh,
appoint
I'm sorry, they nominate two
Nominate.
members of the library board of trustees.
and nominations, check on maturity or something? Check
Yes,
on,
I mean, it's possible they
Until the
they
end of
didn't want
the-
to appoint
of
people
the
for
term of
25
the-
years, because that
Of
sounds,
the loan.
Yeah.
who's gonna sign up for that?
25-year loan.
So they just
Okay.
made it 10 years, and they just need to clarify
Go
amongst
pay.
themselves
okay.
what, you know.
I got it. Okay. And I think
Uh,
that's fine. And I think that's between them and the library and the contract.
But I don't think we can call it a contract if it's an MOU.
It's an
Sorry,
MOU.
that's
Forgive
me.
It's not.
I'm using
No.
the words, but
Yeah.
that's
It's
between
not
them.
legally a contract.
But you're
Sorry,
right. Town council
Right.
needs
But
to get
that
a lot of
needs to
this
be-
stuff.
Yeah.
We just need to call it a
Corrected.
memorandum of understanding.
I can do that. I
Yeah.
can do that.
And that's all
That's what I
right.
actually wrote. MOU.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
But initially, when we had, we
Ellen.
said, yeah, and we said that, should we she said, no, it'll
She
be,
said separate,
it'll be,
yeah.
no, she said it'll be paid off at the end.
yeah, she did.
And that wasn't accurate. So I just
Okay.
wanted to check
Very
that
good.
we are within
Good
the
research.
right position on
Good
this.
research.
All right.
But you did, let's focus on the added language.
Yeah.
Yes, so the only thing, and sorry, Kathleen, I thought I sent you this change, but maybe I did not.
Okay.
So the one thing I would change on here is that the New Canaan
Good.
Library shall operate as an association library. We don't really have any control over how they operate, so I think we just take out shall operate in compliance with state statutes regarding libraries, because there are many of them.
Okay. So
I don't know if those state
No.
statutes are that conforming, are they?
No, there's two types of libraries in the
Yeah.
state of Connecticut.
Yeah, we can't tell the current library
how they should operate.
how they should operate.
That's
The
right.
shall.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be there.
I
How
just
about
want to
just
take
that the
out
New Canaan
shall
Library
operate as
operates?
an association library.
Why don't you just say the New Canaan Library operates in compliance with state
That's what I'm
statutes?
saying, yes.
That's, yeah.
Mhm.
I want to eliminate
Take out
those.
shall.
Okay, in compliance with, you
Are
like
you-
that better
are-
than?
Are you uncomfortable saying the current status of it?
But why?
No,
That could change tomorrow.
It could change.
Yeah, I just
So
don't think it's
I think
necessary.
your recommendation's right.
Okay, so how do we want to say it? Just take out the whole.
Take out-
Operates in compliance with state statute.
shall operate in compliance
If
with state
that's, yeah,
statutes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
We're
what
still on
That's
shall.
less is
Okay.
more.
that's more technical and it's more professional, I think, than,
Got it.
all right.
Regarding such libraries or? what?
No, just take
No,
out that, just
just-
end it after
no.
state statute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the only change to that.
Okay, got it. Any other
No,
changes
no,
to
no,
miscellaneous
No, that was
provisions?
just something I wasn't clear we were
Yeah, everything
okay
else
on.
in miscellaneous, just adding, correcting the date, updating the date.
Correcting which one? Sorry.
Just updating the date to the, because it had the date everywhere.
Like November 4th?
Yeah, it had 2016, so I just
Oh,
changed that
that's good. No,
to.
that's changed. Yeah.
That's why that's why it's so long, is because all of these mention the date, so. I had to
Yeah, that's
include it.
fine. That's not a problem.
Okay, shall we go
Yeah,
back?
so miscellaneous, we're done.
Consent.
Okay. I don't need a vote on that. That's good. All right. We did everything. What else is, oh, let's do, zoning board of appeals. I'm working backwards. It's up in the back pages. So zoning board of appeals, let's see.
Page?
Oh, sorry, page
37.
37, and this is Article 23. And the only thing that we had made changes to
3 years.
was
Just
the
the
3
term.
years.
And then we did a little language cleanup.
As
Say it
per
again.
Alex,
Say it again.
we did a little language cleanup as per Alex on 20, C2.
Just took out. of
That's
the-
okay.
of the-
State
yeah,
three, that's
that's
all
it.
right.
That's a little language tweak.
Yeah, okay.
That's good.
Is everybody comfortable with how
Yeah.
it stands?
It's not hard.
Why don't we get a vote on this with elected versus? appointed?
So it's up to you who's made it. So you want to have a conversation about that?
So I thought we had a couple of agencies we were still gonna vote on. I mean.
Yeah, I am, but let's, before just jumping in the vote, we want a conversation.
No, I just wanted to tick off the boxes. That's all they told me. You know.
It's a conversation. All
Everyone
right,
else.
okay, well, does everybody, so right
We can
now.
wait, we can wait. Just wanted to make sure.
I'll make a motion that the zoning board of appeals remains as an appointed body,
Second.
okay? So it's Kathleen and Russ. Let's have a discussion.
Why do you feel it should be,
Oh, why do I?
Why do you
hold
feel
on
it
a
should
second.
remain?
Sure. We just got something from Nick. I wanted to just double check it. Okay, he's got some language for us, another subject. Why do I believe that the zoning board of appeals shall remain appointed? I think, New Canaan has, for many years, it continues to benefit from the structure that we have with respect to both elected offices and boards and appointed. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with how it's been operating effectively for many years, since 1935, in many cases. And the zoning board of appeals is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe existed back then in 1935, and it has continued to do well. And I don't think that there's any reason for us to change the structure today. Anybody want to add to that?
I'll just say, I mean, I agree with everything that Kathleen said. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I also think that we add to the number of positions that have to be elected. It's hard to find folks that really want to run, and what's going to end up happening is that each of the two major parties kind of twist individuals' arms to run. I think it would be even harder to get unaffiliated representation on boards and commissions.
Just, I would just.
You can go.
Go ahead, Todd.
You had your hand up before me.
Yeah, I've been here like 25 years. I think New Canaan's like one of the best towns around. We do legal work. We win, we lose. I find it to be pretty fair. We don't have a problem with anybody. We take the losses and the wins equally at our firm. I don't do it, my partners do it, but I've never seen a place where somebody felt that it wasn't fair, even if we lost. Sometimes we're not happy with decisions, we are, but there's recourse, and the recourse is the courts. So my gut is no matter what, everybody has a fair chance, because if it doesn't work here, you have a second view at it, and even a third view of more impartial people. And I just think we have such an abundance of talent, and the talent to be appointed. I'd hate to lose that, having to get through elections for me. So I think it works. Not perfect.
How big is
Works
this
pretty
board? How many people?
Five, I
Five.
believe, five members.
I just think it works pretty good. I don't know. Nobody's shown me like reason to change it, because even if somebody's aggrieved by decisions, and you're gonna be aggrieved whether it's elected or appointed, there's always an aggrieved party, right? Great. So for me, we all have a remedy. I just don't see it for me as broken.
Yeah.
For me, but I understand why other people might.
Yeah, no, I just.
I do get it.
I never thought about it before I came here. Right?
Yeah,
You know,
neither did I. I never
you know,
even, I didn't even know it was an
That's
issue.
part of your
You know,
process.
did I? But I do think I have become concerned that land use is all appointed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
that's the issue,
And
not
to me,
this
that's the
particular
issue.
group.
So this morning I had an architect over putting an elevator in my house. He actually did the plans for my house 30 years ago for the lectures, and they're now. And I said, tell me about this thing. And he doesn't have necessarily the same view of how things work in New Canaan, and we don't get into the detail at that point. So everybody sees these things differently. So for me, it's really about land use. It turns out that I think I'm right, because you two are with me, that this particular board said they would serve whether it was elected or
One
appointed,
person did.
and they didn't mind standing for election, which
But as Kathleen said, it was one person who said that.
I think it was three. I think
There was
it
a couple.
think
I
it
mean,
was
they
three.
didn't disagree with each other.
One said, I thought the other two agreed.
Look, I think a
We can go back
lot
to
of
the tape.
people
Yeah.
don't care. A lot of
Yeah.
people would do either. I agree with
Yeah.
you. I don't disagree.
So that's why, so.
Do you know what it entails to take an appointed board to an elected board? I don't know. You don't know the process, right? I mean, it's not like turn a switch
Yeah.
and suddenly everybody runs for office. It's a process.
Takes years.
I beg pardon?
Probably takes a few years.
I think so, yeah. But anyway, I think
no, I
that
just,
has to be considered as well.
Yeah, the other thing that really, that land use in general troubles the heck out of me is the remedies you can go to the court.
Yeah.
And Radman said that, and I'm not being critical, that's probably the truth, your remedy, is to go to court. And then, we hear, well, so-and-so suing town, and it bothers the heck out. And it turns out that my son today, he's got a project somewhere in the state of Connecticut, he's in real estate. And, it didn't work so good in that town. He got a lot of lawyers saying, okay, let's lawyer up and, go and get this thing fixed. I was like, holy moly, this is a crappy process,
It is a crappy
Okay,
process.
okay. All
Right,
right.
that's still what's gonna happen if they're elected. It's just you can also vote them out the next time
Yeah,
around,
right,
but they're still
yeah.
gonna sue. if their
I
decision-
agree with Bill. There's 36 people that we kind of identified in various commissions involved with land use, and they're all appointed. So I think looking to inject the elected process to give the resident, the voter, some form of say and involvement, would be a motivation.
You know what the one thing is, you do get to elect the first selectman. And the first selectman should be a representative of your philosophies. It should be. It's not always, right? So if you put a first selectman in place that has your philosophies, they're the ones that are generally appointing the people that are going to be responsible. That's where I'm like, I feel like protected for the people that vote, because the majority puts in the people that then appoint. To some extent, it's not perfect.
I agree with that plan. I agree with what you said, but one of the problems around philosophies is it's really hard to find out what the philosophy is in terms of, the process to find out. So if I was king, I would spend more time. It's our single asset, our people in our school system. But it's all about real estate, and it's all about communication. It's all about getting feedback, and I am on one or two other, and we don't have much of that. So and again, it's not. I never knew what Rob's philosophy was. Maybe I never asked him, but so anyway.
I get it.
It was a different time. It
Karen,
was a
you had your
different
hand
time.
up. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
You're done?
But I would just like to say that in some towns where they have elected land use commissions, it isn't at all clear what the individuals are running on. You know, there's very little information about them. It's very hard for the electorate at large to know whether this is a person I want to vote for or not.
I'm gonna challenge that a bit, because when I did the analysis on people who like were running, when you go online and you look at Westport or other places, you actually see people who have positions when they do their interview or whatever. I was sort of chuckling that one guy was very concerned about drainage in Westport, but they definitely put forward sort of a point of view to which they run on that. That was clearly evident in terms of, and they talk about their experience. Like another woman who ran was she's a lawyer who's an expert on 830G, who's written a 30-page paper. So that became very important in an election at that point.
Did they win?
Yeah, they did. So those things sort of, you've got to sell yourself to the community.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
have to do
or
their
you
homework. I
have
agree.
to.
I think you're right. I think you could find out enough about
There's a
people.
lot,
That's not my biggest, but I think you're right. I think if you want to know who's running and you do your homework, you can figure it out. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
it was clearly evident.
I don't think this commission is as much of an issue. But in general, you have to defend why you did what you did, whether it was on Hill Street or, Weed and Elm, or certainly, the other ones aren't completed yet. But I don't think that's a bad idea, because people are really in disagreement. And if you read the opinions, you have to say, my God, how did we do such a lousy job? Really? The opinions are awful. So I don't
let's
think
go back
that
to zoning
hurts.
board of appeals. It's going to be Russ, and then I'd like to put in.
Yeah, I think we
Go
need
ahead,
to
Russ.
stay focused on
Yeah.
zoning board of appeals and
Yeah.
what
Right.
it does.
I don't think this one
And
is,
this is not affected by that.
no, it's
really.
not. That's
And we
why
got to
I was
remember
different.
zoning board, no matter whether they're elected or appointed, it's all going to end up in court anyways with the aggrieved party
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's just where it's going to go. And you run the risk of losing exceptionally talented and or educated people who've been in these positions for a while because they've been appointed. We put in term limits, so we know that there will be a refreshing of the people who are in those capacities. And I really worry about the rule of unintended consequences of people having to fund campaigns and things like that to be able to run, or being ineligible to run for an elected position that would preclude people who potentially could be appointed otherwise. So that's where I stand, the same as it was
Not too
before.
many
Plus, there
people.
hasn't been a
We looked
big
at that.
groundswell
Yeah,
of people
we did look-
talking
we
about
looked at
zoning
that.
board of appeals to change the charter.
I know. Let me just say that, first of all, we are blessed as a town to have so many great people who are willing to run, who are willing to be appointed. And so, this is, we are blessed to have that. I will say, sometimes you can see two very good people running and one doesn't get it, but they were very qualified, and it's a loss, actually. When you're running against, two people are running against each other, very qualified, one person doesn't get it, the town loses. And whereas as an appointed one, they could become an alternate or what have you. You've been given an opportunity to make sure that both people have an opportunity to serve, and not force them into some sort of competitive election that didn't benefit the town. So I want to just add our colleague, Chris Labrie. I did not get anything, I don't think, on Steve. Let me double check that. But Chris says, I can see compelling reasons to make changes to either board. And I think he initially had said ZBA made sense to him. However, I would vote to retain as appointed bodies, and I hope that my vote will not prove to be the difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was from
Chris
Chris.
Chris. He will vote, but that does not
Yeah.
a proxy. I'll find, I might have had one from Steve Case as well. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Is there any other comments about ZBA?
What Steve said,
I was just looking at, getting lots of comments from lots of people from different boards and commissions right now.
Little late.
Huh? I just got something from the P and Z.
It's in February, come on.
It was actually a legitimate question. I don't, while I'm looking, it was about, what if I served as a, if it's 12-year term limit, what if I served as a alternate first and then became a regular member? Are you counting my
Yeah, I got
service
that
as
one.
alternate? Did you get that same
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
Yeah, we all got it.
So what is the answer to that? I don't know the answer.
12 years is 12 years.
Yeah,
Including your
including your
service as an
service,
alternate.
yeah, including your
I think so
service
too.
as an alternate,
12 is
yeah.
12. You can't change it. It is what it is.
I think
I agree with that. It's 12 is 12.
Yeah, 12 is 12.
whether
We're
you're an alternate,
not
just
gonna
on the
nuance
board,
it to
whatever
death.
position.
Because otherwise, yeah.
That's right, you never get done.
Down the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm still against the term limits, but nonetheless, so I didn't have an answer.
So am I, but it is what it is.
The public gets to vote.
I will find Steve Case's.
Make recommendations.
Comments, because I believe he did send it to me, but it's not
Well, should
popping
we,
up.
I mean,
It doesn't count anyway if you're not
No,
here,
but I
right?
I thought it would be interesting to
Yeah.
share it. He did have it.
that's right, okay. If it doesn't count, that's,
No.
neither meeting counts, that's right. That's
Oh,
okay.
he said, I'm
That's
happy
okay.
to, oh, he did say,
I thought he was the person that,
it was,
he was the one that I thought I was sort of repeating, because
Chris LeBrie.
he made the first point in the context of, okay, 35 land use people, somebody ought to be
oh,
elected.
okay, Steve Case said.
No, he said that, but I thought Steven said that.
Oh, no, I think it's Joe's point.
Right?
Yeah, I
Steve
think
said,
Joe's
I'm in
point.
favor of ZBA being elected as a counterbalance to
Hmm.
P and Z being appointed. And inland wetlands, I'll just read it while we have it. Inland wetlands, while quite important, to
Mhm.
me is quite technical and should remain appointed. So, those are the two, he said. Alternates, he's added.
That's fine.
Anyway, okay, so that's it. So I heard, Chris, I gave you, he said, appointed, and so they
Cancel each other.
cancel each other out. So it's just us guys.
All right.
All right, so I'll make, I already
Yes,
made the
made a
motion,
motion.
sorry, made the motion. Seconded by
The
Rob.
motion was that it
And you're
stays.
Yeah, okay, and Angela, if you'd be kind enough.
Yeah, sure. Steve Case is not present.
They're canceled, right?
Yep, Miss Corbett.
Remain, yes.
So
remain.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Miss Holm,
Remain, yes.
Miss Jameson, yes, remain appointed. Mr. Kimes,
Yes.
Mr. Lampert,
Yes.
Mr. Labris is not here, and Miss Neville,
Yes,
Mr. Pallo,
Yes.
Mr. Perrette,
Yes.
Miss Willett.
Yeah.
We had a long conversation for.
For nothing.
Thank you, everyone. It was a good
Yeah, so that's,
conversation.
that is unanimous.
Unanimous, okay.
can we get back to where
I
we
don't think the
started
Sentinel
so
will
we
be
don't
ready
run
for
the
this.
clock?
I thought this one was gonna get exciting.
Wait a minute, they're too nice to each other.
No, I don't think that's
So we on
important.
to the next one, which
Yeah, we're
is
moving
To
backwards.
fray.
We did that,
28 wetlands.
Can we get, are we still, oh my God, we're not gonna get
we saved the best for you. That's right. Where are we? Did we finish Public Works? That's the question.
Oh, right.
I thought so.
That was an ordinance, right?
Are we done as far as your?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that was,
Yeah, that was
as
done.
was done.
Okay.
Yeah, it says reviewed.
Okay. Oh, here's my question. Nick, are you still up with us?
No, I didn't put a message up that said you have to leave, and you was gonna email me.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I'm on the top of page 35, and this is, it appears in several cases in the charter. The word entire commission,
Oh, right.
okay? And I did ask him this already, and he was gonna get back to me. I'll tell you what he thinks it is. So throughout in this particular case in planning and zoning, but also for charter revision with the town council, there's a reference that says, and appears twice here in this paragraph, is that a vote of, in this case, 2/3 of the entire commission shall be required for the adoption, et cetera. So my question is, and we asked this yesterday, does this mean seated
Mhm.
or does this mean the entire body? So in this particular case, the 9 members of the planning and zoning, would it be? And he believes that entire, which is state statute, actually means the whole body. Has to go.
If you have 10 people and 3 stay home,
Yeah,
Yeah,
You have to wait until the
You have to wait
entire.
till it comes.
Well, you would seat an alternate.
Yeah, in that case, you'd seat an alternate.
You'd seat
That's
the,
right.
an alternate, so.
And but if you had an open vacancy, he did say to me, let's say there was 9, there was no
Yeah.
alternate, just hypothetically, and there was a vacancy because someone left.
It's interesting. So how-
It's just those who are
How many
actually.
alternates do we have on?
But if you have 12 people,
Three.
if you only have 9 people, right, your board is 12.
Yeah.
And you have 9 people show up,
Right,
so you have a quorum, and all 9 of them vote yes.
yeah,
That
then you're
counts.
hitting your 2/3,
Yes.
right?
So it doesn't, they don't all have to be there. You just have to have
True.
enough
number.
votes
True, true.
to
Why wouldn't you
have
just say
been as
8?
if.
But it still has, but the numbers you have to
The
calculate. It's
number
the
you have
entire.
to count,
It
right?
is the
So it has to
entire.
be at least 2/3 of whatever the whole number is. They don't all have to be
The
seated there.
numerator
Yes.
is set by the number of regular members
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's entire doesn't
So-
represent the full number,
But
but
it's
in
the
this
number.
case, it's
I'm
2/3.
sorry, who said that? That we have to do it that way?
The entire, the question, I was talking to Nick about that.
Legal
And
counsel.
Do we have to do it that
But
way, or
if
that's
it's
the
only 9, that's
interpretation
what
of the
show up,
language?
and only
So now that we
5
have
of
to do
them
that,
vote
that's what
yes.
the language
That
means.
doesn't
Oh,
count.
but we could change the
Doesn't
language.
meet both requirements.
I think it is a state statute.
We can't change
Ah, okay,
that.
so we can't change it. Okay, all right.
That's what we need to verify.
Okay.
Seems to me that there must be, if one person stayed home, you probably could.
No, because if,
You
so if
can,
9
so
people
long as
show
you
up
get
and only, you
8.
only get 5 yes votes, it doesn't carry, right?
Right.
Yeah, they're
Because it's
saying,
not-
you know,
You need the whole.
You need
Probably
all
gains
9
if
to
you
say
had to.
yes. You need all 9 to say yes.
And why are we allowing it from 3/4 to 2/3?
It just changed, state statutes changed on
Okay,
January
really?
1st.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Change from 3/4 to
Yeah.
2/3.
Yep.
All right, well, yeah, there's
Yeah.
gotta be a reason.
But we're gonna verify that. And the other thing is,
Behind the math is easy.
That's because it's the entire commission.
the entire, yeah, the numbers.
Nothing got done.
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah, right, exactly. So we're gonna verify that, but that's the one. On the police commission, I also asked for, on page 34, I also asked for his review, because was it Deanna that said, while the language is consistent with fire commission, there may be a state statute out there that makes this not 100%. So that's still out there with him as
Okay.
well. And so I'm waiting for that. Okay, what did you say that, Jennifer, where else? Parking commission, we've done. Parks and Rec, we've done. Conservation, done. Inland wetlands, page 28. Okay, so what are some of the changes here? Number 1 was going to, okay, here's the language that I changed. On some commissions we have, because they were adopted in this charter 10 years ago, there was a lot of, for the first year, we're appointing 3 regular members. The second year, we're gonna do 2 members. And the third year, we do, and it was like, oh, it's crazy. And I found the language in another commission. And I applied that to both the conservation and the inland wetlands. It says, if you'd be kind enough to look at C11-2, appointments in terms of office, annually, the selectman on the first day appoints the necessary number of regular members of the inland. And so it's subject to their term, in other words. So when their term is up, they're up for reelection, or you've got a new person. So we're dropping these numbers and so forth. It's the necessary numbers of regular members to fill vacancies occurring by reason of the expiration of term of office of any member.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Let's say there's other reasons that it wasn't expiration of the term, they just left. Don't you want to just say fill the vacancies? Like, there could be several
Yeah,
reasons.
Could be any
Is that already
reason,
covered,
right?
though, in filling
It could
the
be any reason.
vacancies?
You're right.
Is that already
Well,
covered
I'm
in
not
filling the
sure.
vacancies?
I think this works really well as Kathleen has drafted it, because if somebody just resigns in the middle of the term, then whoever's appointed in their place just fills out.
I'm not
that
saying at the end
finishes
of the
that
term. Let's just say they resign at the end of the term, but it wasn't an expiration. Or is it always an expiration?
Yeah, there's always an
You
expiration.
mean at the end of
Yeah.
at the end
I
of the
mean, when they
year,
quit,
as opposed to
their
the
term
term?
is expired.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, when you leave,
Yeah.
you sit down.
I got it, okay.
Yeah.
So I think the language as
I'm
proposed
okay, yeah.
works.
My bad, yeah.
So wherever that existed on the,
Yeah.
the 2 here and 3. So then the selectman shall appoint promptly the number of, same thing, necessary alternate members who shall hold office. And in that case, because it didn't say it before, was the 2 years. And so I put that there. So we also went from the term of 2 years to 3 on the regular members, and the alternates that just wasn't mentioned to 2 years, and that's consistent with all other alternates. So the minority representation of the commission, and it does appear in most, but not all, sections of the charter. And I found, in fact, if I'm looking correctly, that it's up front. It states that all boards and commissions shall operate with minority representation.
That's top of the house.
And I thought, yeah, right at the top of the house. And I thought, okay, it sits there. It doesn't need to sit in the chart, in the individual article.
We talked about this, yes. So there's a couple of them I just saw as we were leafing through that have that.
They have it, so I was just gonna go through and take them out.
So we're just gonna make a fundamental total.
Correct.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yep.
makes sense.
Okay, so now I've got to find it now, but it's definitely in the, it's in there. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm looking at
Here it is.
C11 dash, oh,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's C2-3. It's minority representation.
Yep.
It's under Article 2.
Yep.
Town officers, membership of town council, boards, commissions, and committees.
Yep.
So it states very clearly that all boards and commissions and committees and similar bodies are going to have minority representation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's
So I'm just
fine.
gonna take it out of the
Yeah,
individual.
yeah, I
articles. Okay.
that should be
Okay.
So I would just like to talk a little bit about C11-3. The redlining led text says, in addition to the 7 regular members, the first selectman and town engineer shall be an ex officio members of the Inland Wetlands Commission and shall have no vote. That is not consistent. The first selectman not having a vote in the event of a tie is not having a vote is not consistent with some of the other boards and commissions that we have. Health and Human Services, the first selectman has a vote in the event of a tie.
I think I always had a vote. Well, what am I missing?
Well, who added this language?
Has this been changed?
Somebody added this
We
language.
added in group 1, this language was added. There was discussion about whether the first selectman should have a vote in the event of a tie. Personally, I think it's always useful to have a mechanism for breaking a tie.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's inappropriate at all.
know
I
why
mean,
we said
it's
that.
that
And I
one in
don't
100, but you know, you don't know.
I think
don't
that's
know.
also the case with ZBA, because it wasn't changed. And I know for a fact that with ZBA, that in the event of a tie, the first selectman has a vote because she exercised it in February of 2025. And I think it's the same for planning and zoning, isn't it?
So in this
Yeah,
case,
yeah,
let's make it
all.
simple.
Yeah.
First selectman shall be ex officio. And in the case of a tie, have a vote. Now, what about this
Madam
town
Chair.
engineer?
No.
Sorry.
It's a 7-person commission
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
with
should,
3 alternates.
yeah, it should break.
So
yeah.
it should always.
Never have a
No.
It
tie.
should
It
never
would be
happen.
odd,
can
odd,
happen.
odd all the way
It
down.
can happen if you only have an even number of commissioners that turn up, despite your 3 alternates. You might only have, 6 people there. 6
Really?
members,
Then
yeah.
what are the
Also have
alternates?
somebody abstain, there's different things that can happen.
But
It's
it
unlikely.
yeah, you
doesn't
don't
happen-
know.
It
That's
doesn't
true.
happen very often, and I don't think.
Why does it hurt to have? it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah,
say
I
it
don't
did.
think
I
it's
just-
a
okay.
big deal. I
Yeah.
don't- Not at all. I think
Yeah.
just play it safe
Yeah.
rather
I
than
think it's
sorry.
consistent. Let's keep it
Yeah,
consistent.
keep it with the same for
Yeah.
all.
We're
So,
trying to make the next charter commission revision job easy.
Then it can't be.
So how does
Can't
this
be this
square
hard.
with C11-1? Ex officio
Doesn't match
members
up.
may be provided as in the town ordinance. But then we're adding them later in a sense?
Nothing's changed. No change there.
yeah, we voted on everything while you stepped away there, Bill.
That's what I.
Done, Bill, we're sending a draft.
You left us like.
So I'm just saying,
bang, bang, bang.
we're taking out of the.
Which one are you on, Sir Jen?
28. So you're taking out ex officio members may be provided as in the town ordinance, right? Just to be sure.
What page are you? 28?
28.
Okay.
Here, right
Inland
here.
wetlands, C11-1. That's going, right? Because that was in the old charter.
Yes. So that was taken out from there and then it was added under C11(3).
Because the ex officios was the town
Yeah.
engineer and the first select.
Yeah.
And that's what's in the ordinance?
Yes. But you know, if we wanted to say the first selectman didn't have a vote, I mean, you know, the charter trumps the ordinance, right? The constitution, and the ordinance would need to be changed. The town engineer has never had a vote.
No, they shouldn't have to. No, I don't, no, first selectman, I guess if necessary, but not, I don't know that the town engineer should.
I don't.
They don't on any other
So we'll break
board.
the sentence
Yeah.
down here
Yeah.
to say the selectman shall be ex officio and shall break a tie if
Only
necessary.
in the case of a tie.
In
Yeah.
case of a
Yeah.
tie,
Yeah.
I'll make sure the language is consistent, and the town charter is also ex officio and shall have no vote. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, that's
I'm good with
fine.
that.
All right. Are we ready to vote? Or where's the?
We're just, can I get a, the one other thing is that, that we didn't talk about, obviously, is whether or not this remains
Elected?
appointed. Remains appointed or elected,
Elected.
right.
All right.
And I read to you both, it doesn't matter, well, we both, Steve Case and Chris Labrie both said, remain appointed. So I'll put a motion on the floor again, for the, Inland Wetlands Commission to remain appointed. Can I have a second? Second, Karen. All those, that open for, discussion. Any discussion on inland wetlands and I advise the discussion is the same points, technical, in nature. Did we vote on? Or, yes, we did. I'm sorry. And very technical in nature and I believe that it operates as it should now. Any?
I just say that I'm sure it's technical, but there's, when you look at the makeup of the people, I have some people on there for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, so they've learned or presumably in the process of learning. And I guess, Jen, do you know off the top of your head whether in other towns,
Yes,
wetlands and P and Z is almost one and the same or more closely aligned?
There's more towns with P and Z being elected, but there are towns such as Ridgefield who just recently went to inland wetlands, and I'll go find the data, but who actually went to elected. So,
Yeah, it's land use.
And do they
Yeah.
have P and Z is elected too?
yes, they do.
Oh.
So there sort of seems to be now this move to do both, because in the state statutes, inland wetlands and P and Z are very joined. Because essentially,
So it'd be hard to have, I get it, if they're both elected. And I would also get, because they're consistent, I would also get that.
well, no,
having
right now, there's only a few elected in the wetlands.
Okay.
Most of them are appointed, but we've seen, for instance, recently Ridgefield went to elected.
And I kind of get that because P and Z is elected, inland wetlands elected, that we don't have that here. It would be appointed P and Z. It would be
So for
different to
example,
have an election.
just a question.
Yeah.
I don't mean to- if you wanted to change how far you could build a structure from a wetland. If you said, let's say our ordinance now says 50 feet or 100, but you wanted to make it 200.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person.
That goes to your commission or your?
Yeah, if you need a permit to do
Yeah, but
work.
the rule, whatever the rule is,
Yes.
Jay, how far from the wet?
Yeah.
Do you, I don't want to make this personal, but is that something you said or who sets that?
The Inland Wetlands Commission does write the inland wetlands and water courses regulations for the town of New Canaan. And the upland review area under those regulations is 50 feet.
But then it also might include things like the 5 Mile River, which is a federal waterway, which then involves the Army Corps of Engineers. Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
Thank
I
you.
mean, everything I said earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
applies, so.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so we want to call the vote then?
Sure. Mr. Case is not Present.
And this is a motion to retain it as.
Retain, yeah, retain.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Just for clarity.
Yeah.
So, Miss Corbett,
Yes,
Miss Holm,
No.
Miss Jameson, yes. Mr. Kimes,
Yes.
Mr. Lampert,
I'm sorry, to retain it.
as appointed.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Labrise is not present. Miss Neville,
No.
Mr. Pallo,
No.
Mr. Perrette,
No.
Miss Willett.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 noes. So the motion carries.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for the discussion. Okay,
Do we want to
so,
do the other part of that?
I beg your pardon?
Do we have to vote on the other part?
Oh, the ex
changes.
officio, not.
We have the other changes.
I need a consensus of
Yeah.
everybody
I
comfortable
think
with that
we're all good
language.
with
Yes,
that,
all
yeah.
those in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, so, thank you. Okay, are we through all of them?
Can we go back to real property? I think
Yes,
I
let's
think
go back
I
to
want
real
to change this wording. I think
Okay.
it's gotten
I just had some
confusing.
comments on real property.
What did he say?
From Nick.
Are we gonna be needing to meet on Friday? Is that where we're at right now? What's your
I
opinion?
couldn't get, nobody, I got
I'm
some people responded,
not available.
you're not, I still got people traveling and, so I'm happy to pick a time and if you guys want to do a Zoom,
Yeah.
I have to post it, obviously.
No.
Jeff listed Friday and Friday.
Friday, yeah. I just think we have unfinished business that we have to.
We
complete.
might.
I don't know
I
if we have
think
any
we-
more vote.
No, I don't know if we have votes,
We
but
just,
we
but
have.
we have some
yeah.
language changes and I
House
did,
cleaning,
Could we-
cleaning in general.
How much of that can we do? We can't do
We
any
can
of
do that
that
by email.
online.
no, we can.
Or I mean,
I've
I
said I've asked council, I said, look, we're down to the final things. I'm sharing every single night, so you guys have plenty of
I would
time
assume if
to edit.
we had to have a formal vote.
We don't though, it sounds like.
Sorry?
It sounds like we don't need a formal
You
vote.
don't
on
need a
it.
formal vote.
No.
Just
So I think
a
we can
consensus, I would love a consensus.
I think you could circulate it and we could
Yeah.
all say if we have comments.
Yeah, if anybody's
This-
against it,
this-
I would stop it,
Yeah,
you
Why
know?
would you get a formal, why would you take a formal on favor?
He could take a fair, but we'd have to call a meeting,
You have to call me up.
yeah.
So should we cover, I think the only thing we have left right now is the question of.
yeah, we're
real
getting there.
property.
What did he say?
With what?
Real
Real
property.
property.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let
What
me
did he
just,
say?
Then we're done with this.
and then we're done,
Stop.
unless
Oh,
somebody else. Somebody getting tired, here's 6:06, okay.
I'd like to say. we
Here
finished
is
all the
proposed
topics.
language for page 22. This is from our council on the town on real property. And he has the town council approval shall be required prior to any of the following changes to town-owned real property. A, change in use as defined under the New Canaan zoning regulations. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Capital lease.
Yeah.
Or sale or transfer in excess of $500,000.
I love it.
I'll make a motion.
just a sec. Does that
second.
include, let me just,
Sure.
change
Here we go.
change
go.
of use, that would also include
This. here.
alteration and development
No.
or not?
If it changes, but.
We took out alteration and
We did
proposed development.
yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, because development would have to have an
It was
appropriation.
so
and
broad and
alterations.
it
Well,
was covered
development
other
is
ways.
broad, you're
Yeah.
right.
Well,
But
we just added Nick's language, which.
Yeah.
I make
So
the
let's
motion
read
to
it
approve
again.
that
Sure.
language
Read
as
it.
read.
You read it.
town council approval
No,
shall be
thank you.
required prior to
I'll
any of the
second.
following
Thank you.
changes to town-owned real property. Change in use as defined under the New Canaan zoning regs. What does that mean?
So, change of use is basically in the zoning regulations, can cover quite a bit.
Yeah.
It can cover getting a special permit and adding a building to Irwin, which is.
It would include use
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Irwin?
yeah.
What about?
Commercial to residential, that would be a change of use.
How about changing
Two-family
it to?
housing's a change of use.
What about a park becoming a
A golf-
board of ed?
We do that, we
No,
can do
no,
that.
no, I mean,
Well,
No,
That's a
oh,
change of
that's,
use.
no, that was
Joking.
considered. Are
That's
you
being
kidding?
considered.
That's a change of use.
But a park to a Board of Ed would have a.
No,
major
to a
capital-
Board of Ed
change.
building.
Yeah, but
Board
you'd have a
of
major
Ed.
capital expenditure that would have many
That was
paths
Waveney
to
Park.
address
That's,
it.
that's
and
what
make
I'm
it
saying. Is
known.
that included? That was waived.
So to go to, remember about what, when we all were petitioned for not having the Board of Ed building built in Waveney, remember?
That's what you're referring to.
But that would cover that.
Yeah, but the appropriation would also cover it because you
The
have to
appropriation
appropriate
also
money.
covers
So
it.
you're
So it's-
double covered, I
You
think.
can't build it without money, so.
Yeah, anything that
But the
involves money.
appropriation, just to be
All
clear,
right.
besides
But
that,
where is,
appropriation doesn't
where is
override
purchase of? We've got capital
It
lease
doesn't
sale.
negate-
and
It does
purchase.
not.
That's in
You're
the
right.
rest of it.
I agree with you.
And
Does
that's in
not.
That was in the old
That's your
part.
approval.
It's in all of it. It's all about appropriation, anything involving appropriation, bond issue. Look at the next one
I am.
right here. So which relates to any appropriation,
think it's
bond
pretty good
issue,
oversight. I think
town-owned
that's- I
property,
think that's
subject to.
just enough.
Yeah.
14
So do we-
Or any
Without getting
ordinance.
Do we
too
want to
crazy with
contemplate
it.
what
I'm okay
Christina
with it.
said, which is take
It's a
out the
big issue.
500K?
You know, I don't know if you need that.
Do we
Sale
want it-
or transfer so you could sell something for 455,000.
Let me give you the example, and you probably know this. There's a lot of times when a resident or somebody may need a piece of land that's this big or something to do something, and it's in the best interest of the town to do something. We don't need that to be an issue in my mind, but, and I know not to sell towers, I understand that.
You only need 75 feet.
Yes.
You only need a parcel.
Yeah,
the
and
size
that's
of this
not
room.
money. That's why the 500 wouldn't cover it.
I'm
So do
okay
we
with
wanna-
taking out that number.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
think-
that would leave the cell
There are
towers
these little
wide
strips.
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
little
So
strip
we
of.
can't
No,
have.
but
the
are there
500.
100 of those that come up every year that it's kind of
500
bogged down? I guess the only reason to leave it in is if there's so many things that are under 500 that have bogged down the system. But if it's not, if it's adding 10 more votes a year.
Cell towers no longer an issue. Didn't they change the way all
Yeah,
cell
but
use
if you,
is done
if
now?
you
It's
leave
like-
that open, you could easily carve out a block
You could
behind
manipulate
West.
it.
So what do you want to
What?
do? What do you?
take out the 500.
I'm
Yeah, take out
okay
the
with taking
500.
out the 500. and
You know,
leaving
can
it
I
as-
just say, I really don't understand the need for this provision. What is it? What is the problem we're trying to solve? We talked about it for a long time yesterday, and I don't think anybody came up with a case where something egregious had happened because we didn't have
But we've had a
rule
bunch
like
of potential
Right,
egregious.
we-
that. But there was discussion within the
No,
town. There
no,
was
it
political
wasn't actually.
pressure.
That's the problem. It never even got to a
You know,
vote of
the
town
problem you
council.
have is when you have an appointed town, and you have a lot of people who serve, 20 years or 15 years in positions, and very few things were elected. You need more checks and balances, in my personal opinion.
I think
But
you-
the board of selectmen is elected. The Board of Selectmen is elected.
Yes.
I
and
don't
it was the
actually
Board of-
see why town council needs to be involved in. I mean, the
Because
town
that,
coun-
apparently that's where it has to go. I mean,
The
tell
town-
me where else it would go.
well, I don't see the need for this, period.
Oh, I do. I do.
Well,
I've watched
we
this
differ,
so
we
closely.
differ on this. But, the town council is the representative of the town into the extent that we're talking about town real property.
The town pushed very hard in 2017 to put a cell tower in the
Yep.
nature center.
Yep.
And there was a battle royal to keep it out of the nature center, and then that sort of forgot about that. Then they pushed to put it at Irwin Park.
Yeah.
And there was another battle for that, and at West School, then there was West School 2 when they came back.
But cell towers are done now. They don't exist.
I'm not so sure.
Well, yeah,
They just-
Russ,
I hope.
I made a motion, but I don't think it was heard. So I
Sorry.
think that this is a good start at the very least. And the
Yeah.
town council can do more on top of this. I think 500,000 is a reasonable start. Because little things like the Burtis slice, when they did the Burtis slice, you don't want to tie that up with town council.
Yeah.
That was a tiny little piece of property, but I think as presented, the language makes sense and I move.
And
that
I
we
second
accept
it.
that.
Let me just ask a question. Is the change of use, would that include legally cell towers? Would that
That
include
triggers P and Z or not. I can't answer that
misuse
question.
or different use of the town park?
I can't
I'm
answer-
not sure.
I can't answer the question because we don't know what the new P and Z regs would be. In the old P and Z regs, there were some things that required a special permit and some that didn't.
Yes.
And therefore, not knowing, that's in flux right now.
And let us remember,
Well,
this is a
so-
document for
but-
10 years and it's gonna change again, so this is a
So
good start.
we have a couple choices.
Boundary.
Either we vote on this or there's gonna be a vote to have nothing.
Yeah.
So
So
I
I,
think it's
so
a
I,
compromise.
so I just like, so you made a promotion.
And I second it.
You second. We have discussion?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
I think this is a great start. I
Me
think
too.
the change of use, if we could ask Vic to, you know, there's maybe one other word,
Expound on it.
one other thing.
I think he
that-
gave us his
He did.
changes. We
It's a
got-
zoning.
Yeah, I
we
just
got
put
our
you
money's
back,
worth.
you know,
Yeah, I
just
think
take a
we
look at
did
that.
bug him
But
enough.
I think this is a great, I think this is a very good start.
I do
think
too.
it's a positive
Yeah, and,
start.
and we actually used to say, it used to say just change in use,
Yeah,
period.
and what really boggled,
That's what I
well,
wrote.
say my boggle of
But I
mind.
think this is good. I'd like to respond to the little parcel slice.
Yeah.
And yes, not having the 500,000.
of them.
Right. That would be excellent, but the issue that it prevents is the big catastrophic issue. So I understand the trade and we can manage for the ceiling or the floor, and I would really want to manage for the ceiling. Yeah, I'm concerned about the big problem. I don't care about the thing
So
the
then
size of the
you're
table.
okay with the 500?
That's what no, it's just the opposite. I'm saying
Oh.
taking the 500 out and understanding that will cause some inconvenience, that will cause some waste of time. But the trade-off is you don't get, remember, there's also wind turbines. If you remember, I brought that up. a while back.
yes.
That was a favorite.
Yeah, you know about
Joe,
that.
come on.
Solar panel.
That's my one.
So I don't think we
Wow.
need a number. And
I
you know,
agree.
the number always makes mischief because somebody can break a
Or
$8 million
90.
parcel into
Yeah.
16 pieces.
Okay, let me just add. to
I
the
agree,
conversation.
I agree with Joe. I'd take it out. and
I do
it's-
too. I
It's
agree with
not worth the aggravation.
Because also too, when you start seeing small pieces of land, you're also seeing things like with right of ways happening. So the town gives away, I think it was a piece over here that they had to at least sell or deal with in terms of that parking lot to be able to then allow that developer to make those buildings, I get this wrong, Burtis, next to the frame guy I like.
Yeah,
They actually had to do then a sale on that. So,
Yeah.
to make those so I think you start dealing with issues too of right of way, which gets into these small slivers, which also, starts to talk about other things as well. So,
I would just throw in one thing. I would not look at this. It is a nuisance. I agree with that. But I wouldn't look at it as more government. I would look at it as more access. Because this is what enrages the public, is when they don't feel included, they don't feel they have a voice, and it just goes on and they all get worked up. This would remedy, I think, a lot of this, a lot of
I think we should.
I agree.
a lot
I think
of
we should, but I actually think,
hope.
I think that Judy had a motion on the floor yesterday. We're
Yeah,
just
I did.
I think that's the first motion before this motion.
Yeah.
So just to get it in order, because I know I'm leaving in 12 minutes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, well.
All right,
what
so
was your
this
motion?
would,
Sorry.
well, it was the same thing
Without the 500.
Yeah.
without the
without the
500.
500.
I would take out the 500 as well, only because I do feel like that could be manipulated. Anytime you have a
You never
cap,
know.
then
You're trying to
you've got
think
people
how,
like
but
trying to get
I
around the
don't
cap.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
wanna- and I
That's
would-
where you're gonna get so many
Simplifies it.
things.
Do you have a motion?
But it's a
Did anybody
nuisance.
second the
With the
motion?
caveat that I have no
I
idea.
hate
the
it,
flow
so
of
you're
things.
seconding it.
Joe
Okay.
second.
Can we just tell for Karen's benefit, what was your motion?
This
The
is the
same motion you
motion
did.
minus the
Minus
500.
the 500
We're
was
taking out
yesterday's
the
motion.
money.
Okay, so the
have to
motion,
vote
maybe
down
let's
the
be
other motion.
specific
Yeah,
then.
let's be
This is-
So the
specific.
Apparently
language,
there's a motion
the
from
language
previous session, so
proposed
I'll
for
take Karen's over,
4-13, Karen, the town council approval shall be required prior to any of the following changes to town-owned real property. Change in use as defined under the New Canaan zoning regulation, capital lease, or sale or transfer in excess
No,
of,
take-
sorry,
take-
sale or
just sale or
transfer. Excuse me.
transfer of
Forgive
property,
me.
right?
Town-owned real property?
It is town-owned real property.
What, you want to say
right
it
here.
again or not?
Well, it's right up
I
here.
don't care. I mean,
It's
what
right
do
up
you
here.
think? Sale or
This is gonna
transfer?
be a colon, it's just gonna be a continuous
All right.
sentence, so it's there.
And we're doing the same thing that we did last time, so just to make sure that this is completely legitimate, I withdrew my
Oh,
withdraw
yeah,
my
you're right.
motion. Because a motion can't carry over from meeting to meeting, so I
No, you're
withdraw so
right.
they can do this and then we'll.
Oh, you're
Okay.
you're so.
No, but
equipped.
he's right. No, he's right.
I'll second.
Okay, so second Judy's motion, Karen Willett.
No, Joe seconded.
Okay.
Joe seconded.
Oh, Karen seconded.
Well, I think
Okay.
Joe got there first, actually.
Okay.
Let's
Very
go.
well.
You want to call the vote?
Yes, Mr. Case, he is not present. Miss Corbett?
Yes.
Miss Holm?
Yes.
Miss Jameson? No. Mr. Kimes?
No, I like the concept, but I like the 500,000. I think it's gonna be
Miss-
too many.
I know, it's.
Mr. Lampert?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Labrise is not here. Miss Neville?
Yes.
Mr. Pallo?
Yes.
Mr. Perret?
Yes.
There you go.
Miss Willett?
It's done.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yeses.
You want
and
to change your
2
vote?
noes.
No, I'm okay with it.
You're okay.
I'm on the record. I just said
No, it's
it's
all
gonna be too
right.
many transactions.
And
that's
it
all.
might be. I don't know. I just don't know.
When the two of you, three of you maybe, who are here in 10 years.
need to
and
do the
somebody's
research.
Then you can change it.
Things happen.
What I wanna do is
I just
later,
read
later
every
bus,
single road that's our
all
property.
this stuff about
Yeah,
government
somebody needs to look
politics.
and see what.
Well, I don't know what the zoning
It's
regs
good.
are
Yeah,
gonna
he
say
learned a lot.
either, so you need to cover
All right.
more
How
than
long
one.
you been in
Ladies
the
and
town?
Do we need to have any?
Can we just, guys?
You wanna go
do a little
first?
housekeeping? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to raise a question on a page outside of the charter, but in the report.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Page 10.
Yep.
And it's the fourth vote down where it says to impose. And I just think the word impose, I don't think anyone actually said that. The word enact or establish would be, I think, a kinder, more appropriate word.
Okay.
Impose as a forcible negative.
I think
agree.
Picked it up, but that's fine. I can change that.
Yep,
Not a
that's it.
problem. Thank you.
Do we need any discussion of the town council regarding the the purchase? Or are we absolutely covered?
That's
Are
an
we-
expenditure, that's.
No, but are we good with, because we didn't include
They already-
that in the motion.
They
so-
already
have
approved
that.
everything.
But
Already
is it,
have
are
that
we
power.
good with it the way it is?
Yeah.
Okay, just
It's
want to
fine.
make sure.
No, good
All right.
checking, good checking.
No, I'm just checking.
Who can help me, know, is there any other vote that's out there?
To adjourn,
Vote.
maybe?
Was there any other
Holy-
vote in the
No, I
contract,
don't think so.
in the charter? I don't. I think we
Of anything we haven't done, you
I
know
think we've
what?
done
I
them all.
can't
There are
think.
gonna be some tweaks, and we'll see that, and, we thank those who participated, Christina Ross and
Oh, sure,
And these are helpful, and Nancy Bemis, thank you, and.
What was her last issue that because I,
Who?
Bemis.
No, she
Was
said
was
we're
it
good.
just those 3 words?
She said we're good. We're good.
Oh, but.
So-
Okay, so.
But we didn't
uh,
change.
So I will be back, yes, sorry.
So you'll send out something tonight, potentially, with these changes.
Oh, God. She can sleep.
How
eat,
would
and
you
drink.
like us to, send things,
yeah, we did
updates
discuss
directly
that.
back
We
to
didn't get it.
you? And then shall you,
And then when I revert them back out, I will put a note, Jennifer suggested this.
okay, and then,
Um,
we will have then a
We
consensus
just
on
couldn't get the
Friday?
extra word in.
I'd like to,
Couldn't get
yeah.
the certification.
This is all something brand new for me, and I thank you all. It's been fun to work with everybody, like, you can keep, but special thanks to Kathleen. Like,
Oh,
wow. Really.
Fitting into.
I do.
I'm trying to get him to run for office. Sure, as a penalty.
For one of the, yeah.
I have to say, there's nothing better than working with people who differ from you.
Yeah.
Oh, I
appreciate-
agree. Yeah,
I appreciate opinions different than
Yeah.
mine because it helps me think better.
yeah.
And each of you helped me think better. So thank you for this. It's been
Yeah.
a real joy. We're not over the finish line yet. And so we've got to get this done. I'd like to hit send on Friday. If I don't, that's not a problem.
I know.
Okay,
We're
so
okay.
we're okay. We have till Monday.
Yeah.
And so I do appreciate everybody's
Did
work.
last year we covered everything, did we cover Maria Norton, talked about the Board of Education and
Yeah.
the certification?
Yeah.
I know we put
We
it on the
talked
list.
about it,
Yeah, I know
but we
put it on the list
didn't.
as something
Yeah.
we thought
That was one, that we didn't take it further, that said, follow the bylaws. The other one is, I'm thinking of just very early days, John Engel raising,
Yeah.
the comments, we didn't do anything about preservation.
Should we? Go ahead and do that?
Well, that one is really
That's one of the,
heartbreaking
isn't that
to
one of our
me.
But no,
recommendations?
I think
that was pointing to the recommendations, and
Okay.
then didn't Judy, you say there was an ordinance out there for a while that's
There
never
was
been-
an ordinance from 19 that Fred Whittemer wrote and never saw the light of day in town
Think it's the
council.
Okay, so that's
Add
on,
it-
so
And
I
that
folded
could have been
into-
rushed through, but,
combining the
Maria Norton, I think it was really just, if I recall, it was just,
we can do that they can do that as a best practice.
it was,
Yeah.
we could put it in as a, we could do it by email, because I think it was just a matter of defining.
It was signing some sort
it
of.
was certification.
We decided against
Oh,
that. We decided against
When we
that.
read the
didn't-
education
yeah.
piece, we said, we can pick it up as like a
Did we?
rule,
Yeah.
it's something, a request. So what was the one we just said was the preservation, put it in the historic one?
well, preservation could be combined if they combined historic, which
Yeah,
they can't now,
that's
probably
E.
till the next
That's
charter.
Oh, no, they could.
No, they could
do
do
an
that?
ordinance.
They can, oh, well, then that's even better yet. So it's historic commission and the review.
It's in there. Yeah, it's
Okay,
in there
then,
already.
and then they would establish preservation.
Here.
That's
Yeah, no, it's right here.
That's needed, big time needed.
You'll be good.
Okay, all right, great. I just didn't know they could do the ordinance, but they can also combine the commissions.
Yep.
Great.
Well, that's what we're gonna suggest.
Well, that's
they
what
work
I'm
with,
not
yeah.
sure they could
Yeah.
do.
And I'm also offering.
Didn't I ask Nick that in session? And I thought he said no.
Well, this is what we're offering,
Okay.
since we're all gonna have time on our hands after this.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things we're gonna offer to the town council on any of these other items to say, listen, we can help you. We can sit down. Okay, what, motion to adjourn?
No, we still work it.
We're still,
Oh,
we're still
yeah.
recording, folks.
Motion to adjourn?
I motion.
Okay.
I second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, so still work to come. This is only Tuesday. So
I can do it.
It's a
So we'll
lot.
get- yeah.
It's a lot more, but it's a
You know who
lot
I want
done.
to thank is everyone's spouses.
Oh, God, I know.